He has not spoken to the chairman of the Fed since taking office.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Polls consistently give former President Trump an edge on the economy, up 5 points on the issue in the latest Fox News poll. Trump has meetings with Jewish leaders today.
The former president is really trying to target these disenfranchised voters who feel overlooked. And many Jews, frankly, do because of the rise in anti-Semitism over the last year and also a conflicted Democratic Party over this Israel-Hamas war.
Fox's Aisha Hasni in Washington, where Trump will speak at the Israeli-American Council's National Summit and also attend an event on fighting anti-Semitism.
Co-hosted by Dr. Miriam Adelson. She's a huge GOP donor who's reportedly pledged $100 million to help re-elect Trump.
Meantime, Vice President Harris heads to Detroit for a live stream event with Oprah. The Pentagon says it had no prior knowledge of deadly electronics attacks targeting Hezbollah militants in Lebanon.
On the larger point on, regional escalation, that's something that, of course, we're worried about, we're concerned about.
Deputy Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh, as Israel and Hezbollah trade airstrikes and rockets today. America is listening to Fox News.
Life takes a toll on our bodies. No way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical job, over time, your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. Relief Factor. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good. And it's 100% drug-free. If the pains that come with living a full life are affecting you, do as so many others have. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet, we can stop pain. Turn back the clock with Relief Factor.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire. And the mechanical mangler at the controls, it's Flounder, and it's Thursday, and it's Throwback Day. But here we go. Now, by the way, Flounder, you're still in the dark in there. Are you going to join us today on the video or not? Are you not in there today?
Give me 1 second.
It's just because now, again, where I am, we're separated by a big, huge glass window. And Flounder doesn't have any lights on there. He keeps the room dark, so I literally can't see if he's in there. Even though I'm 10 feet away, I cannot see if I cannot tell if he's in there. So now we have this little video thing where we can see each other because we're in 3 different locations. Anyway, so if I can't see him, I get a little nervous. Anyway, but everything will be fine. Wish I hadn't taken all this cough medicine. No, seriously. 304. No. Anyway, and by the way, got a couple things. We got a million political things and stuff like that, things. But first, I want to, again, I feel really terrible that I bolted out of here after 1 hour yesterday. It was the strangest damn thing that I actually couldn't make my mouth work, and the pain with the discovery was really bizarre. It's a freaking mouth pain. There's nothing you can do about it, man. I mean, it's just you could. In fact, I'll tell you a story about it later on. But what I wanted to get to was you guys did a great job. In fact, I was a little nervous because I was coming in and I heard somebody outside of Mr. Dickey's office saying, "Gee, Mr. Dickey realized after yesterday he has a new way maybe he could save some money in the budget." This is why radio broadcasters don't take a vacation for more than 1 week. Because somebody's going to take over. Somebody's going to replace you. So So anyway, but it was a great show for those 2 hours, and I listened as much as I could. And then I was at the pharmacy for a while and doing stuff. Anyway, and I've discovered a whole. I had a they're going to pull it next week. Next Thursday, I'll be off because the only time I could get her to do it is in the afternoon. That sounds wrong. My appointment is for a Thursday afternoon, and I have to get this thing pulled out. The problem is it's one of those bottom molars, and the thing, what happened was, when she was looking at it, I was going in for a teeth cleaning. I just went for regular teeth cleaning, but my teeth have been bothering me. I've been mentioning on the air. And when I got in there, she said, "Oh, my God." She said, "You must have a hell of a high pain threshold." So she says, "This has got to be bothering you for..." I said, "Well, yeah, I just didn't say anything." Anyway, so I mean, it was just all horrible, and she had to dig and drain. It was just a nonsense and a horrible thing. And she did a wonderful job, and the staff was great. I put their video up there, these hot babes in Dr. Dina Giesler's office at Atlanta Smiles. Anyway, so that was fun. I was flirting with all the girls, and I felt like a kid again. They were so sweet. But anyway, so I tried, and just a quick thing, I think it must be a difference in age. Years ago, like before I came back to work, like 2010 or so, down in Florida, I had a whole bunch of periodontal things where they go up or lower in your gums and they knock you out, and then you have stitches. I mean, it was brutal, the whole thing, but it keeps your gums fresh as you get older. This was, I was 60-something, whatever. Anyway, when I got done with that, the guy gave me some hydrocodone. I've never had Oxy or the big stuff. Hydrocodone is basically strong Advil or Tylenol or something like that, basically. So anyway, and that always worked. Well, it didn't work this time, and last night I was in agony. I tried to go to bed at like 9:15 last night. I'm pumping these things, and I felt kind of crap. And all of a sudden, and I guess I somehow did fall asleep a little after 9:15-ish or so. And the funny thing is, I woke up at 10 o'clock at night, like 45 minutes later, and the pain was gone. And I felt good. I woke up because I felt good. What the hell is that? I mean, seriously, I woke up and said, "Oh my God, I feel good. I feel so much better." And then I swear to God, I slept till 3 o'clock. I slept 5 hours in a row. I haven't slept 5 hours in a row without getting up 5 hours in a row. I haven't done that in years.
You know what I've gotten out of this whole conversation?
No, I probably.
That next Thursday, you're going to have some afternoon delight by having the girls pull something out?
No. It was so funny. I mean, they're so sweet, and I was telling Dr. Dina, I mean, she's a doll anyway, too, she's a hottie. They're all, and the girls in the office share, they're all just hot. They're just great, and they're great because they're funny and happy. I mean, they're happy, and I mean, it's just, they're fun going in there, it's just, and the two girls who came in to kind of work on the thing there, and I was flirting with them, and I said, "Oh my God, you girls are so beautiful. I can't believe this." And then one of the girls' sisters also works there, and she came in and said, "Oh my God, there's another one." And they start laughing. I mean, we just had fun. It was just really a fun time. So, and I just wanted to pass that along. Anyway, so I'm fine. It's still, I mean, a little thing going on here, but I thank you guys for doing that. And folks, I'm sorry I had to dump out here because I don't like sick day. I don't like sick day. I don't take sick days. But anyway, all right. God, we're on the news, Flounder just sent this to us a few minutes ago. On the news, they were talking about the Hezbollah business, and now they're calling Netanyahu a war criminal. And the top. I thought this was funny. I think Glenn Beck mentioned this morning. Hezbollah has now deemed Netanyahu as the world's worst terrorist. And he said, "Wait a minute, isn't that one of their biggest rewards?" In other words, they've just elected him as their top terrorist guy because that's what they are. Anyway, that thought was kind of amusing. But here's the meme. There's a million memes going around, and they're all funny. Here's the media asking a question to Netanyahu. Media press says, quote, "Is Israel behind the exploding pagers?" Netanyahu: "So I was raised in a middle-class family." And again, I was raised in a middle-class family. It's getting as good as Jeffrey Toobin whipped it out on Zoom. I mean, seriously, I'm wetting my pants over here with these things. And again, even Pete and I were just talking before, even the former boss at the New York Times is saying, Carmela, stop giving the word salad. Answer a question once in a while. I mean, it's unbelievable. And by the way, speaking of that, we have... you're going to hear from Donald Trump here shortly. Showed up on Gutfeld last night and was pretty amusing. We'll be talking about that stuff as well. Also, the Donald got flashed by an OnlyFans model, and we'll talk about her. Also, The View now. These nasty freaking women, a bunch of lying, dried up old hose bags, are now attacking Brittany Mahomes, the quarterback's wife, because she happened to say, "Boy, that Trump really makes a lot of sense." And now they're attacking. I mean, it's just. What is the matter with liberals? This never used to happen. Dude, this was never you didn't attack, go at docs and attack and do everything you can to destroy somebody else because they liked a different candidate.
Well, they're sheep. They move in a herd. They have group think, and if you think outside of that, there's something wrong with you.
And by the way, you'll hear the fact that you think the news is biased now. Holy smokes! More statistics coming out about how bad it's been, even after Donald Trump was nearly assassinated twice, and they're still blaming him for it. And they also there's a CNN interview with a guy who owns a boat, and therefore, well, hell, he must be rich. I guess you don't need any help from anybody. I mean, that kind of turned around badly for him. Also, some latest stuff on P. Diddy and Justin Bieber, which makes me a little nervous. So Justin Bieber apparently is really freaking out over some of the stuff that's come out about P. Diddy and the fact that Justin Bieber used to hang around with him a lot when he was, 14, 15 years old. Anyway, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't want to imply anything. But now, Flounder, I forgot to ask, do we have Neil Bortz at 4 and Shannon at 5?
Yes, we do.
Outstanding. And again, so that'll be fun. Can I do a quick thank you? Out of the morning show, I guess the morning show. I can't believe it. This morning, I have different kinds of notebooks for different kinds of things. Sorry, when I work at home. Okay, so before I come into work. So, and on my big notepad, on this notepad I'm holding up now, my big blue notepad, I keep one of my favorite coloring pens, which has the medium ink that I like, the ink I like, and I keep it attached to it. And when I pulled it out of my satchel this morning to move it over to my other notebook, the pen was gone. And I said, oh, my God. And I tried to look for it and couldn't find it. And so I got a different one. I come in here this morning, and all of a sudden, my pen was still here. They left it. The morning guys didn't. Well, I don't know how many actually come in the morning, but whoever was here in the morning didn't take my pen, and I left it right here, and I have my pen. So thank you. I just wanted to pass along to the morning crew because I listen every morning. Although this morning I got up 10 minutes later than normal. What?
They're afraid there's cooties on this.
I'm sure
that's
true. They know better. Anyway, thank you for not stealing my pen because now it's like I got a treat. It's like finding $1. It's like walking down the sidewalk. I found $1. Well,
okay. What's the limit for what you'll do to pick up something off the ground?
I'd probably pick up a quarter if I saw it. Just put it in my pocket. I don't think I'd pick up a penny or a dime. I'd pick up a quarter, I'm sure. In fact, I think I probably have. I don't remember. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. And by the way, I put this video last night on TV. I had my dinner last night of mashed potatoes and gravy because of my tooth, my digging into my mouth. And by God, this morning, because I was still a little nervous about being sore, and it's still from the digging in there and stuff. This got a little tender. So once again, I had mashed potatoes and gravy for breakfast. And it was freaking delicious. And when I go home tonight, I'm having mashed potatoes and gravy again.
You should go to the store on the way home and get that, like the guy said the other day, the Bob Evans already made, just heat it up.
Yeah, the only thing, but I think I've had those a lot. I really have. I've had those many, many times. The only negative, and it's not really negative, is sometimes you have to really stir them good because they get a little watery on the top and stuff, and you have to really stir them good before you microwave them.
It's hard.
I think you nuke them for 3 or 4 minutes, and then you stir them and nuke them. It's no big deal, but this, I'm telling you, these potatoes are better. This Idahoan business out of powder.
It's very good stuff.
I couldn't believe it.
Put a lot of butter in there.
It's delicious. Oh, and cheese, anything you want. And they have 4 cheese. They have the little red potato garlic. They have everything. It's unbelievable.
In honor of Talk Like a Pirate Day,
matey. Yes.
I want to ask you this musical question.
All right, sir.
Are you ready?
I'm ready now.
How much does a pirate charge for ear piercings?
80 mates.
Flounder, how much do you say?
80.
$1.05.
You're both wrong. It's a buccaneer.
A buccaneer. Hoo-ha. So they gave the...
Pete got upset yesterday after you left because you know how during sports he'll ask you a question, a number.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. How much? Yeah.
And I actually got both of them right on complete guess, and he got agitated.
Guess both of them.
I think
he's the worst.
Was still in the car.
And I hadn't
It's not fair at all.
I'm
never playing with him again.
Well, anyway, it's 3:15 already. Holy smokes. Neil boards at 4, Shannon Burke at 5 to join us. And your calls, 404-741-1230, 1230. Join us if you would. Love to hear from you. Happy Thursday at 106.3. Look out.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Hi, this is Ben.
And I'm Walt from Horizon Background Screening.
I would say anyone who's working in any industry could use our services.
A couple of the clients that people tend to not even think about are churches, volunteer organizations. We do a lot of background checks for referee associations. Anybody who's going to be around kids or older adults or anybody vulnerable, you really need to do a background check that includes a criminal history, a sex offender registry search, and anything else that's really relevant to your organization, just to make sure that the people who you're putting in touch with, kids and other vulnerable people, are who you think they are, and that you're not putting your clientele at risk.
So we're going to help you reduce your risk. We're going to help you hire the right person on the front end so that you don't spend all this time with training and all those kind of things and then realize that wasn't a good hire.
The best way for people to find us is on our website. A quick Google search of Horizon Background Screening, or look at us at horizonscreening.com.
Hey, it's Mike with Atlanta Painting Company. And this fall, we invite you to transform your home. Our expert team brings color to life with top quality paints and flawless finishes, and leading the industry with our color consultants. Whether it's a fresh coat of paint for one room or an entire exterior makeover, the Atlanta Painting Company has you covered. So, trust the local pros for reliable, professional service when you need to revive your home or business. Find us at atlantapaintingcompany.com or call us at 1-800-PAINTING. That's atlantapaintingcompany.com. The Atlanta Painting Company, the painters you can trust.
Get ready, Atlanta. True Prep is celebrating 13 years with our biggest anniversary sale yet. Saturday, September 21st, join us for massive savings on over 75 items, local vendors, free food, and hourly giveaway drawings, including 2 Glock 43Xs. Vendors will be on site, and giveaways happen every hour from 10 a.m. till 2, while the sale continues all weekend long. For more information, visit TruePrep.com. That's TRU Prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Insurance companies know that you don't know a lot about the law, so maybe it would be better just to let your lawyer make the call to the insurance company when there's a problem. David Van Sant should be that lawyer. He used to work for the insurance company. He knows who to call, what to say, and he has your best interest at heart. Plus, if you don't get paid, either does he. Van Sant Law, 855 GA Injury or VanSantLaw.com.
Oh man, look at my backyard. Looks like a tornado met a hurricane in a desert. I'm going to tell her to turf off. Or maybe you'd rather turf on with ATL Turf Co., the Southeast leading turf installer. Whether you'd like a new football field, putting green, or have us create the perfect maintenance-free backyard of your dreams, find ATLTurfCo.com. Make your yard great again. Visit ATLTurfCo.com and see what we've created for customers like you in the Southeast. ATLTurfCo.com. And no more yard cackling. Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Always wanted to smoke a turkey but weren't sure how? We can teach you at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our October class will cover all the traditional barbecue meats: brisket, pulled pork, ribs, chicken, and pork loin. And as a bonus, you'll learn smoked turkey with gravy so you can wow your guests for Thanksgiving dinner. Learning to cook the perfect barbecue is not a topic learned from a book. It takes hands-on instruction, the kind you get at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our classes are designed and taught by Grand Championship pros with real-life experience, competing, instructing, and catering barbecue events. A day-long class at Southern Thunder Barbecue School makes a fantastic gift. So do your loved ones a favor and tell them what you really want is the Barbecue with the Pros class, available now at SouthernThunderBBQ.com. That's SouthernThunderBBQ.com.
I just realized that I have yesterday's music queued up.
I was going to say, this is not James Brown.
So when we come back from the next segment, I'll have all that ready.
Okay. Well, play Who Is This now?
This is Marilyn Manson from yesterday.
Oh, from yesterday. Okay. Well, that's right. We'll play it while we speak. Coming back, we'll have the extra one.
Whoops. I'll have everything ready when we come back.
Not to work. 321, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. In the meantime, Neil Bortz joins us at 4 o'clock and Shannon Burke at 5 from Man Country Radio down here. Our birthday list includes the girl, if you ever watched 30 Rock, that beautifully magnificent, sweet little nymphy, platinum-haired blonde Cerie, who was sort of like the bouncing little nymph. They used to make fun of her because she was just so pretty, and she would just kind of bounce around once in a while. Her name was Cerie on the 30 Rock. Her real name is Katrina Bowden, 36 years old today. And if you saw 30 Rock, you'll know who I'm talking about. If you didn't, you missed her. She was just sweet. And I did some extra Googling today, or this morning, when I was going to talk about the battle in 1777 in the Revolutionary War. One battle in particular at a place known today as Horse Country changed everything on this day in 1777. The Battle of Saratoga was a major turning point in the American Revolution and had important consequences, such as the Americans beat the British. That means we beat the British, and nobody could believe it. It boosted morale and hope for independence, and we could actually pull this off. Secondly, it was international recognition, and this was huge because it led to critical international recognition from France and Spain and the Netherlands in terms of money and aid. So now the world was saying, aha, they're pulling this off. We think they deserve some help, and they helped us. It was also the French alliance. The French government signed a treaty with the Americans. Again, the French and the British have their problems, so the French signed a treaty with the Americans, pledging military and financial support, crucial to the American victory at Yorktown in 1781, which basically ended the war.
And who was the main hero of the Battle
Lafayette.
of Saratoga?
Saratoga, I was talking about Lafayette, was 17 years old when he came here battling New Orleans and stuff from the French.
Nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I mentioned the French, and the French sent help, including Lafayette sent help. The Battle of Saratoga, yes, sir. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Benedict Arnold.
There you are. Who then tried to give away West Point after that because he was mad because they wouldn't give him enough money, and his wife was mad because she spent all his money. So
not only almost gave away West Point, he was minutes away from handing George Washington over to the British.
Yeah, that's right.
Minutes.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, that's how close everything came to being totally different. We assume. Anyway, 324. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? Okay. Donald Trump last night was on Greg Gutfeld. He showed up. Actually, I think they taped it before the rally last night. We'll talk about the rally, too. Flounder, let's play the soundbite of Donald Trump. He had one regret. He was talking on Gutfeld last night, and he talked about a regret, and he also talked about, I think the soundbite here is talking about the idiot vice presidential candidate, Walz, the gutless, chicken-livered, yellow-bellied coward who's a phony war hero who ought to be ashamed of himself. And I got more to say about it later. Anyway, here's Donald Trump on Gutfeld last night. Right over here, right in this area, right in this whole section here.
President Obama's brother is supporting Trump. This Governor Walz, his brother and his whole family is supporting him. In fact, they want to make contributions to my campaign.
Well, to be fair, a lot of brothers are supporting President Trump.
That was that wrestler guy.
That's what we do over here.
It is funny. Waltz is a strange dude.
Oh, he's strange.
He is strange. Him and I are the same age. How does he look so much younger?
No, he's a strange guy.
Strange.
You know, he called up years ago. I was in the White House, and he said, my house is being surrounded by people with American flags. I said, is that a good thing or a bad thing? He said, I think they're going to attack me. This was during the riots and everything else. They were MAGA people. You know, they like the American flag, all right? And they also had Trump. And I said, how do you know? There were about 15,000, he said. He said, could you put out a word like that I'm your friend? I don't even know him, but that's the only time I ever spoke to him. And if you look back long ago, tweets, before Truth, tweets, long ago, I put out a statement. He's a good man, the governor. He's on our side. I didn't know him, but I didn't want him to get hurt. And everybody put down their flags and they left. He said it was a miracle. He said it was a miracle. I didn't want him to get hurt.
Scared by the American flag.
They
say he's not a nice guy. I would have had fun with that. It's called a barbecue. Go outside.
He remembers it, actually. He was a little bit nervous about things. They had one guard. He said, we have one guard at the door. It was the mansion for the state. Then he said, we have one guard at the door, and you have 15,000 people out there. And I'm a little bit, I don't know, they look violent. I said, are they carrying the American flag? They're not going to be violent.
Yes.
But I put out a statement, and they just went back. It was sort of a beautiful thing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, Walt's afraid about people carrying an American flag. And by the way, they were talking about this earlier on the morning show, one of the shows before us, and they all kind of blend together sometimes in my brain. And they were talking to veterans who were saying two things. They find it very hard to believe that there hasn't been more reaction to Vice President Carmela Side-Piece when she said there's not a single American soldier in harm's way under her administration and today in America and so forth. And then they showed the videos of the guys in Iraq and wherever they are, you know, what do you call us, you know, in their combat gear and so forth. Just goes to show what she knows, for one thing, and also how much she really cares about what veterans and the people serving active duty are going through right now. She clearly has no idea what the truth is. And secondly, they were wondering how come there's no immediate reaction from most veterans about false Waltz and his phony claims and ditching his unit when they were going to war so he could run for office when he could have done both. He ditched his unit when they were going to go to war, and he made false claims about carrying weapons in war like he was a warrior and he fought in a war in combat, which was a freaking dirty lie. And the problem with it is that he said it because he wanted to raise political capital as well as money and votes. So he lied about a war record for political purposes, which is even worse than any other reason I could think of. And secondly, or thirdly, or fourthly, he should have been proud of his record without having to fake anything. How come people aren't more upset about this? And then the final point was, I heard one guy, I think it was on Glenn Beck's show, one guy called in and said, you know what, here's a problem. Try going to the VA. God knows I've had my experience the last 2 years going to that stuff, and I finally gave up. I said, I don't want nothing to do with anything. And the guy said, you know, you tried, now it's all, you know, AI stuff and rigmarole and things. And he said the bottom line is America doesn't really care about veterans. We just really don't. You know, it's just I'm honestly getting choked up right now thinking about it. I mean, what a freaking shame. And what happened since 9/11? What happened since Vietnam when it was over and then we were supposed to heal again or something? I mean, I can't believe it. Jesus.
We care more and treat people from the most effed up country on the planet, Haiti, than we do our own veterans who died and fought to protect us.
That was one of the guy's comments, was exactly that, Pete. He said, you know, how many times have we heard about veterans being displaced out of hotels where they're given room and board for, you know, because they don't have any money and so forth. And now all the money, the billions of dollars being spent on illegal invaders who are coming here, living in fancy hotels when there are veterans who are struggling to make ends meet and can't afford it. I mean, everybody knows the truth. They just don't care. They just don't care. And it's heartbreaking. Anyway, so I that was a point. And again, I'm flabbergasted there aren't more people saying this guy. How could you trust either one of these people to be leading our country in another war or leading our country in any capacity? An empty pantsuit, a tramp bimbo side piece who can't answer a question yes or no. Can you imagine her negotiating with China and North Korea and Russia? Please. And sending troops into war at her command? And false waltz the phony yellow-bellied coward? Oh, my God. And yet the polls, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, Trump's getting killed. Yeah, and a lot of the polls now, he's losing by like 10. I tell you, there's 3:30, Garrett, Pete, and Flounder. I don't get it. Help me out here, will you? Jeez.
So-called journalists have a little trick they like to use from time to time to indoctrinate rather than to inform.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right. Enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
My name is Jamie High, and I have worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years. Why do I work for Bruce? Because he truly cares. He cares about me, he cares about my family, and he cares about each and every one of his clients. Family is important to him, and he never makes me choose between my family and work. He values me as an employee, but also as a person. At our firm, we are all family, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I am Jamie, and I've worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years because he's the best. Hagen-law.com.
Look out now. Yeah, baby. I keep seeing the scene in Blues Brothers when he's in the church. James Brown, baby. Talking to me.
You know you're out of sight.
Out of sight, man. 2002. James Brown, 22 years ago, is being sued by his own daughters for about $800,000 for song royalties that they said he screwed them out of which he screwed her. Deanna Brown, Thomas, and Dr. Yama Brown Lumar, a Texas physician, said that James Brown, their dad, withheld payments of 25 co-written songs because of a family grudge. The lawsuit claimed that James Brown held a grudge against his daughter since 1998, that was 4 years earlier, when Miss Thomas had her father committed to a psychiatric hospital to be treated for addiction to painkillers. And he was not too happy about that. Our birthday list today includes Allison Sweeney, former host of The Biggest Loser. 40. Is she the one with the knockers? This is one we keep talking about?
Which one?
Allison Sweeney.
No, Sydney Sweeney.
Oh,
is the
Sydney
one with
Sweeney.
the
That's
knockers.
right. And Allison Sweeney is a former host of The Biggest Loser. I don't know. No, she's 48. I thought that was the one we keep talking about with the knockers, keep popping up in the news. That's amazing to me. All of a sudden, this girl, Sydney Sweeney, had no idea who she was until all of a sudden, all I know is every couple of days, Sydney Sweeney's in the news, something about her rack or...
Well, remember when every other day there was Chrissy Teigen in the news somewhere?
God, yeah.
Her agent pays these magazines to do this.
I guess. Oh, by the way, speaking of things that pop up, holy crap. Well, that was perhaps a poor choice of words. On my phone just a minute ago, my phone pops up with a text, and I said, I don't recognize this number. So as I hit the thing, and it said, your payment of $597 has been processed for, and I go, whoa, and I didn't recognize it, and so I'm running into Flounder. It says, what do? I don't want to touch anything because I know something bad's going to happen if I touch anything, and I didn't know that, I didn't realize the screen didn't show it. If I scroll up, there's a thing that says delete and report junk. So, but again, I freaked out. I said, oh crap, I'm just afraid to do anything.
Yeah, I get twice a week. That happens twice
All
a
the
week.
time.
Somebody claims they've done it on PayPal. Yeah, Sports talks about it. PayPal.
It's unbelievable. And by the way, I mentioned the revolutionary thing, a Saratoga battle in the war, and another quick revolutionary thing, which is, and by the way, the words are kind of hard to understand, and especially since we're talking in the 1700s, was on this day in 1796. George Washington's farewell address was published for all to see. George Washington in 1796 had 3 warnings. He warned, 1, about the forces of geopolitical sectionalism. Secondly, political factionalism. And 3, interference by foreign powers as a threat to stability of our republic. Concern about international interference, political fractionalism, and sectionalizing of geopolitical stuff. Pretty fancy lingo for a guy in 1796 from humble backgrounds about the dangers to our... and notice he said republic, not democracy.
And 2 of our greatest patriots, Washington and Dwight D. Eisenhower, as they're leaving power, warning us about what's going on.
Yeah. When's the last time we had a president leaving power who had a significant speech about the dangers ahead and what we should be aware of? I can't remember. Of course, they're responsible for the dangers that we had behind us. Anyway, I don't know. 3:38. A little more political. Oh, this happened. I guess this was last night. An OnlyFans model almost got arrested, kind of partially got arrested with her boyfriend. Her name is Ava Louise. She was at the rally. This is the woman back in May who flashed her boobs at that portal in downtown Manhattan, which goes overseas. And she got kind of criticized for it, made a lot of money out of it. Well, last night, she was at the Coliseum, at Nassau Coliseum in Long Island for the Trump rally, and there's a lot of video out there showing her standing up and flashing her boobs. She's jumping up and down, cheering with a crowd, hopes of giving Donald Trump an eyeful. We don't know whether he ever did see her, but the audience apparently appreciated it until a cop showed up, grabbed her and her boyfriend out of their seats, and she said, "The cops are trying to charge me. They're trying to charge me." And the cops, she said, were super angry about the publicity stunt, but I think this is fairly amusing and probably the best way to handle it, even though there'll be people who disagree. The cops wanted to charge her. They were taking her out of the arena. The Secret Service, she said, was more sympathetic, convinced the disgruntled cop to let her go, let her boyfriend go without any issues. One guy appeared to be a federal agent in a polo shirt working for the agency, said, "Great set, man, great set." Complimenting her. The agent even nodded at her boyfriend, telling him, "Nice job, bro." And this girl, Ava Louise, said after she left, "I donated money to Donald Trump for all the hassle I caused." She said since she did that portal thing, she makes $100,000 a month. She's trying to make $500,000 off her content to give to Donald Trump. It's called, I won't say the 4-letter word, it's called Tatas for Trump. She said, Trump was an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I understand him. I sell pictures of my boobs. He sells the American dream. Yeah, same thing. same, G.I.
The monkey is a businessman. I'm a musician.
Tell him what to play.
I don't tell him. He doesn't tell me what to play. I don't tell him what to do with his money.
By the way, when this story broke on my phone, I looked it up, and there was one of those inset articles and something about OnlyFans people. There was an article about an OnlyFans woman who's really busty and big butt and everything. I mean, to me, they look grotesque. I mean, if you have so much, silicone in you that you have, a phony fanny and you just look like Betty Boop or something. Anyway, but this one girl looked like that and had her list of the money she makes on OnlyFans. I think her October salary was $600,000 for that month. November she made $1.1 million. January $700,000. I mean, month after month after month.
I know. What are we doing?
I mean, isn't there some kind of niche? I'm trying to think. At me as maybe I should show that I look like some kind of science project or something. And I don't know. Maybe have medicals have a closed circuit TV. Like showing my parts of my body for medical students to dissect.
Think about this. If you are a young, good-looking girl having trouble finding a job or needing some money,
that's right.
And you could do one of these things without showing your face.
That's right.
And just maybe not even being nude, just show your feet or something like that. That would be very enticing to do that if you needed the money.
And again, speaking of that, I'm going to talk a little later. But the Golden Bachelorette was on last night. The premiere of the first time an older woman has been. She's in her 60s, but she's a knockout. She was on the Golden Bachelor, and she had to leave early. But now they've got her as the Golden Bachelorette. And she said, remember when she was first picked, they said her daughters complained that all these guys were texting her asking for pictures of her feet. And last week there was a story about all the what's kinky and what's not, and every single relationship erotic expert in the ways of love and so forth and romance are saying that feet fetishes are like the number one thing, and girls are making hundreds of thousands of dollars because guys want pictures of their feet. I mean,
I'd do it. I'm telling you right. If it was just feet, hell yeah, I don't care.
Absolutely.
My feet are horrible.
Well, I have great feet, as it turns out, but I wonder whether
really.
Oh yeah.
Let's see them.
Oh, I've been told. No, I've been told.
Okay. Oh, okay, Jose Altuve. Let's see your feet.
No, that wouldn't be fair.
Tonight, I want you to take a pic of a nice pic of your foot and send it so we can have fun with it. You put a little velvet around it, put it in nice lighting.
In fact, one girl named Susan, well, never mind. 343, Kevin Pete and Walter.
There's your homework assignment.
Yeah. I can't wait to. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this too. I'm so flattered. This hasn't happened in years. Yesterday, when I was at the dentist, Dr. Dean at the dentist, Atlanta Smiles, getting my thing with the thing. I was talking to all the girls, messing around with all the girls. We're all laughing. And some guy in a chair down the hall said, "Hey, is that the Kimmer?" I swear to God, I haven't been recognized by my voice in. Well, I actually have a couple times at Publix and stuff, but still, going out in public, I really have not been recognized by my voice in very often in a very long time. I was very flattered about that. I just went and talked to him anyway, so it was kind of cool. 343. Okay. One more thing here. We got a lot of things on the Trump stuff. Oh, and by the way, Pete sent a story earlier. You're going to hear from a former Border Patrol chief, a retired chief patrol agent, about the danger ahead of us because this freaking administration, and we got a whole bunch more about the views of the negative news coverage of Donald Trump, and he's been trying to assassinate him twice, for crying out loud. Here we go again, social media, and we mentioned a little earlier about the viciousness with which people are attacking the people they disagree with politically. The View and that ridiculous, snotty little host, Sunny Hostin. Oh, by the way, didn't she complain when Nikki Haley used the name Nikki instead of Nikita Duchigach or whatever her real name is because she's Indian or something? And Sunny Hostin is named Sunny. And Whoopi is Whoopi. That's her real name? Yeah, sure. I mean, Joy. Yeah, the three of the nastiest, snottiest girls in the world are Sunny, Whoopi, and Joy. The three of the most hate-filled women in America. Anyway, this Sunny Hostin is attacking Brittany Mahomes because Brittany Mahomes, the quarterback's wife, seemed to indicate she was supporting Donald Trump's views the other day on Instagram. And here's what Sunny Hostin said. It just seems to me that since she's in an interracial marriage, she should have known that to support a racist is problematic. Her children are biracial, and her family is one of the families that in the 70s could not have lived in any of Donald Trump's buildings. Oh, my God. Here, Flounder, let's hear her.
Answer. That does make me hopeful, actually, that this shift effect will speak to more women about the true character of Donald Trump and will turn them away. But to your initial point, I know you said we weren't going to talk about it, but I was. It just seems to me that since she is in an interracial marriage, she should have known that to support a racist is problematic. Her children are biracial, and her family is one of the families that in the 70s could not have lived in any of Donald Trump's buildings. So it just seems to me that maybe she's just not that politically savvy, or maybe she's just not read in.
Granted,
but
all we know is that she liked a Trump post. We don't know. She hasn't stated that she supported him, but that's fair to interpret that she may have. But we don't know that she's a supporter.
You snotty little lying bitch. I guarantee you that Donald Trump would not have forbade any black people or biracial people from living in his buildings. I mean, my God. Donald Trump was given award after award after award by the NAACP and Jesse Jackson, among others, for his work with
and Al
black
Sharpton.
people.
All of them.
Also, do you remember he let Jennifer Hudson and her family live there for rent-free for a couple years?
My God. And by the way, Donald Trump is not a racist. But prove he's a racist. What are you talking about? I mean, and by the way, leave her freaking family. Her children are biracial, and one of the families couldn't live there. How dare you? I mean, you can't hate these people enough. This is just, I mean, if Donald Trump were not a public official, I mean, he should go and punch you right in the face. God almighty. I mean, honestly, you just can't hate these people enough. Oh, we got so much more. Sorry, 347, Kim Repeat and Flower.
Atlanta radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on Extra 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day. We are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions, no former shock jocks, just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
By the way, speaking of legends you can turn to for a generation and for decades, Jeff and Mark and the gang at Atlanta Safe House. I'm not making that up. They've been doing this for decades, Atlanta Safe House. Hell, I bought my first two safes from them back in the 90s. Like 25 years ago or something. And incidentally, I love them talking about the gun safes because they're great big, you can like spin the dial and they got it's just really cool. It's like being a bank or something. But they're not just big, empty, square boxes. I mean, they have shelving units and if you want specific nooks and crannies, they can take care of that for you. In fact, check them out on the web, atlantasafehouse.com, obviously. But if you're up in Ackworth, they have a showroom off Industrial Boulevard in Ackworth, and you can see for yourself. In fact, they love it if you just stop in and say howdy, see what's going on. Even not in the mood to buy something right now and you're thinking about it. But I'm telling you this, I learned the hard way when I couldn't find my medical records and went down to Florida, came back, and the VA told me to pound sand. And, it's my own fault. But if you want to, and now, my kids need to know where my living will is, my medical records, my dental records, x-rays, my records on my finances and everything else you want to save. Not only, of course, all the personal stuff, as well as the pistol safes and the whole deal. All the great brands. They have great sales still going on. The summertime sales, saving hundreds of bucks. And here's even better news, just to say thank you for your patronage. Atlanta Safe House, for the rest of the year, will pay all the sales tax. You don't have to pay a nickel in sales tax. They'll pay it all the rest of the year. Atlanta Safe House. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. Showroom in Acworth and on the web, atlantasafehouse.com.
When you're leaving the house, do you plead with your garage door? Please open, please open. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Let us take that anxiety away with one quick call. Our highly trained technicians will get to the bottom of your garage door issues. It could be a simple repair, a malfunctioning opener, or maybe just needs a tune-up. But if it's time for your garage door to be replaced, we'll make that easy too with upfront pricing and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
Doug Moore is a health insurance broker at yourchoicehealthplan.net. He believes your health insurance premiums should not look like a mortgage payment. You don't have to overpay for health insurance. He sells private insurance with no deductibles and no rate increases. These plans are typically 30 to 60% less than what you're paying and don't need to change doctors. He customizes all plans to meet your budget. Don't fret. Go to yourchoicehealthplan.net. He can save you big money. Call Doug Moore at 770-697-0100. That's 770-697-0100. Don't fret. Go to yourchoicehealthplan.net. If your payment is too high, you're on COBRA, or your work coverage is too expensive, call Doug, 770-697-0100. You don't have to have government marketplace insurance that's crazy expensive. Don't fret. Go to yourchoicehealthplan.net and request a quote. Call 770-697-0100 and let Doug design a plan for you, not by big government.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Tainted Love, baby.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away.
That's Gloria Jones.
Get away from the pain you're driving.
And was on this day in 1999. American musician and songwriter, composer, producer Ed Cobb died. Ed Cobb was a member of the Four Preps, and he wrote the Northern Soul hit Tainted Love for Gloria Jones, the B-side of her 1965 single My Bad Boy's Coming Home. Soft Cell reworked the song into one of the biggest pop hits of the 80s. Is this Soft Cell or is this Gloria Jones? Gloria? Good looking. It sounds like the original to me, but I wouldn't know her. And our birthday quickly includes, remember Joan London? She was the ABC chick, that blonde girl. Now she does senior citizen homes for mom or something like that. Joan London is 74 years old today. And I have a triple whammy history thing I'm very proud of because I have 3 different sources for this. Okay, first of all, 1959, Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev had dinner with Hollywood's elite, including Marilyn Monroe, Bob Hope, and Frank Sinatra. In 1959, had dinner with them, and then he wanted to go to Disneyland. And they said, no, there's no way we can have you go to Disneyland. It's too dangerous. Man, he pitched a fit. He was furious. It was a very, very famous outburst of Nikita Khrushchev because they thought it was just way too dangerous. And that was in 1959. Now, 1 year later, same day, Fidel Castro was in New York City visiting the United Nations and got into a fight with the management at the Shelburne Hotel. He was at the UN as the rare platform as legitimacy. Inside, Castro gave a speech, which is still a record. 4 hours and 29 minutes, railing against imperialism, colonialism, capitalism, and then it was outside the UN building that he had a biggest impact. The United States had forbidden Castro and his Cuban entourage to leave Manhattan. So we don't want you traveling around. And the manager of their hotel refused to fly a Cuban flag and said, you can't eat in here either. They banned him from the dining room. So Castro and the other Cubans said, oh, yeah, so we're going to sleep on the sofas at the UN and we're going to bring sleeping bags all over the lawns. And they said, no, you can't do that. So they finally got so ticked off, they packed all their stuff, moved the entire delegation to Hotel Teresa in Harlem. That's just international relations, slightly different many years ago. Kim, Pete, and Flounder. Here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-123, and also 0. We got a Flounder's Funny coming up. Pete's Tweets coming up later. Yes, sir.
We got Martin on the horn.
Hey, Martin, you're on the radio, man. What do you think? What's up?
Kimmer, you ever had a really good idea stolen?
Yes, actually, many, many times. I was the one who came up with the Ford Edsel. It was an incredible story. Anyway, for example, what do you mean,
News
Mark?
Monster.
The News Monster, that was mine. Yeah.
I came up with a really novel approach to birth control.
All right, sir.
And it seems the Israelis have stolen it. It fit right in your pocket, your front pocket.
Did you?
I mean, it worked great.
Did you hear me do the meme?
It was to die
for. Did you? Flounder sent a meme a little while ago of a picture of Netanyahu, and the media's talking to him, and the press says, "Is Israel behind the exploding pagers?" Netanyahu says, well, so I was raised in a middle-class family.
Oh, my God.
That's going to be the best meme for a long time, I think, about raised in a middle-class family. Anyway, very funny, Martin. Always a pleasure, man. I can't help laughing when they showed the videos again on Fox News. I was watching our big TV in here, and every time they show the video of that guy standing in the crowd at the food market, and all of a sudden he blows up, and everybody's going, oh, well, what the hell was that? I can't stop laughing. And apparently Israel is also now attacking more places in southern Lebanon. You know, and by the way, whatever happened to the whole thing with hostages and the Gaza thing and what's going on? I don't know. And frankly, I don't even. I shouldn't say I don't care, but I don't know what's going on. I don't feel any part of it, and I don't know what we're doing, and I don't feel my country is telling me what's. I just don't have any link to anything about it. So that's probably shame on me, but. Flounder's Funnies right here. Come Pete Flounder. What you got?
A few weeks ago, she's like, I want to work out with you. You like to work out. I want to work out too. You push me, make me better. I want you to be my coach. Starting tomorrow, you're going to push me, make me better, and be my coach and work out with me tomorrow, okay? You're in charge of be the leader here. Be the leader. So tomorrow, we're going to work out. You're going to be my coach. Next day comes. Hey, honey, you ready to work out? You need to mind your own business. That's what I was doing yesterday when you asked me to help you work out.
Who's that?
Mr. Tim Hawkins.
Very amusing. By the way, I don't know whether you saw this popped up on my phone here. This is an outrage. The guy sent a message. There's a picture here of P. Diddy with two hot black chicks, one on each side, and the one on his left, on my right as I'm looking at the picture, is Carmela Sidepiece, the shiftless and lazy vice president of the United States, in a slinky sort of pearl-colored gown showing lots of cleavage and looking absolutely gorgeous on the arm of P. Diddy. So clearly the woman has been one of his concubines and involved in the sex tapes of P. Diddy and his children. Clearly the evidence is right there. It's just
that
as
is
clear.
what we call enhanced editing.
Well, I don't think I agree with your opinion, sir.
That is Montel Williams.
It doesn't look like Montel Williams to me, sir. And if that's the face of P. Diddy, by God, I, as a journalist, a modern-day journalist, my opinion is that I believe that's Carmela's side piece with P. Diddy. So that's, I'm clearly...
Well, the funny thing is another thing that came to light is apparently 784 dildos have been found and seized from Diddy's home.
That's a lot of dildos. I don't think I've ever seen more than 5 or 6 at one time. I don't know. That was Asian cheerleader night, but that's a whole other story.
From end to end. They'd go around the world.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they were stretched end to end. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. It's 4 o'clock. Neil Bortz is next. Look out.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Still pushing for a ceasefire in Gaza. Lisa Brady, Fox News. As Israel and Hezbollah attack each other, White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says a deal between Israel and Hamas would lower the temperature in the region.
We still believe a diplomatic resolution is the way forward here. We still believe that it is possible, and obviously the urgency continues to be that.
But she's not confirming any new ceasefire proposal or any plan for President Biden to meet with Israel's prime minister during the UN General Assembly in New York. The leader of Hezbollah says Israel crossed a red line after sabotaged pagers and phones used by militants exploded this week in Lebanon, killing more than 30 people, wounding thousands. Former President Trump will be part of an event on fighting anti-Semitism later today, then speak to the Israeli-American Council's National Summit in Washington. President Biden says the Fed's decision to start lowering interest rates is a declaration of progress in the inflation fight.
It's a moment for individuals to feel greater confidence buying a home, a new car, starting a family, starting a new business.
Speaking to the Economic Club of Washington, the president also criticizing his predecessor's economic record, while voters continue to favor Trump on the economy by 5 points in a new Fox News poll. A day after the Fed rate cut, new highs on Wall Street. The Dow up 522 points at the bell, topping 42,000 for the first time today and closing above it. A 76-year-old man in Alaska is accused of threatening the U.S. Supreme Court.
More than 450 messages allegedly sent via an online portal to 6 unnamed Supreme Court justices using homophobic language, racist language, and other threatening language.
Fox's David Spunt, the suspect, is charged with multiple threat counts and could spend the rest of his life in prison if convicted. America is listening to Fox News.
Life takes a toll on our bodies. No way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical job, over time, your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. Relief Factor. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good. And it's 100% drug-free. If the pains that come with living a full life are affecting you, do as so many others have. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet. We can stop pain. Turn back the clock with Relief Factor.
Here we go. 403 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And by that music, you know, it is time once again every Thursday. Neil Bortz from Parts Unknown joining us here on your Thursday afternoon. Neil, how are you? Welcome aboard, sir.
Yeah, crowd goes wild.
I'm sure of it.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't miss this.
Absolutely. I'm vertical, but I am not a good person.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I cannot be a good person, would not laugh his ass off at all of these pagers exploding.
That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I mean, I love the one with the guy at the food bar and all of a sudden, blam, and you go, oh, guy on a bicycle.
I mean, I'm like...
Kaboom! There goes my leg.
And then I read something this morning. This is wonderful. You know, these Hezbollah men, you know, they're so macho. They're so this. And now we've got a bunch of these Hezbollah terrorists running around with Big Al and the boys gone.
Well, I don't know whether you've seen the Babylon Bee. You get a kick out of this. Babylon Bee, a couple of quick headlines. Hezbollah is starting to think they should not have gotten their pagers from Levi Gold Bromstein's Pager Emporium. And one more. Israel kills thousands more terrorists with exploding 200 free hours of AOL CDs.
Oh, you're terrible. I like the little messages that are showing up on the pagers when you look at them. Yeah. You know, like one of them just said 72 virgins calling.
Waiting for you.
Yeah. And the other one is from the liver to the knee.
I haven't seen that one. The liver to the knee.
And so, look, there's just no way I can ever claim to be a decent human being if I'm laughing my ass off.
But those people are not decent. Those people are not human beings. If you're a terrorist and your main goal in life is to slaughter people you've never met or known, and for whatever reason, you're not you're disposable. Frankly, you're a danger to the world. You can't be part of it.
You know, it's sad that especially children, were injured in this, but
that's because of Daddy. If Daddy wasn't a terrorist, yeah.
I know it. Yeah. Hezbollah has been launching rockets willy-nilly into the heart of Israel for God knows how long, yeah. And how many innocent children, how many women were killed by those rockets, and then all of a sudden, yeah. When Israel does it, it's very bad. You heard? I don't know if you heard my commentary about the first time Israel did something like this that I'm aware of. You know, they opened up an iPhone repair shop in Gaza.
Yeah.
And they just waited for some Hamas big shot to come by to get his. And they fixed
put it right
his phone.
In. Yes, they did. Yeah.
And he left, and they called him. Hello, and they pushed a button and blew this guy's head off.
If you saw the movie Munich, where they went after the terrorists from the Olympic bombing, and they killed the ones who were responsible for it, and one of the ways they got him was putting a bomb on a phone. And it worked.
I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so me, I'm so deranged. I was trying to think, like, what could be some interesting new things that Israel might try. I really like the idea of electric toilet seats. I don't know how in the world they could ever pull that off.
Man, that'd be brutal.
You know, right now, throughout Lebanon, people are unplugging baby monitors and TV sets.
Good.
Yeah, and then we'd have all these macho men afraid to take a dump. I'm just a terrible person.
I don't. The whole, it's just such a. And I was just telling Pete before we went on here with this segment. I don't know anymore. I guess Israel now attacking southern Lebanon sites again here right now today. I don't know what's going on with this. Whatever happened to the hostages release? What's the administration doing? Do we have a president? Are we in anything? I don't know anything that's going on, and I don't feel like I have any interest in it. I don't.
One of the best Trump stories I've ever heard, and believe me, there's a lot of Trump stories that earned him justified derision.
Yeah, I know which one you're going to tell, and I love this story.
Yeah, it's about he's negotiating with the Taliban. Said, I'm going to get the troops out. A hair of their head. If you do, I'll kill you. And then he takes a picture of this Taliban goon's house out of his pocket and puts it on the table in front of him and walks away.
That's a true story. We heard the testimony from the guy who was there. And I mean, can you imagine the balls? He said, if you harm a hair on the head of any of our troops, I'll kill you, and throws the picture right down in front. I mean, my God. I wish I could have seen that. Oh yeah.
And Iran was silent for 8 18 months.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't do a damn thing until he left. That's right. That's right. It worked.
No, I like that.
That's like Pershing. Remember Pershing when he put the one bullet in pig guts or something and shot one guy and said, the rest of you go tell her, you one survivor, tell them what I just did to your friends. And that worked too in World War I.
I know. Yeah, I can. Can you imagine Kamala ever?
Lord.
Hey, I've developed a new. I didn't develop it. I can't claim it. You ever heard of Napoleon the blah 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 14th or whatever?
And as in brandy or as in what?
No, as in musical artists.
No, I don't think I have.
Have you ever thought of playing his song every day at the end of your show?
I don't know what song you're talking about. We should play it at the beginning of my show, not the end of it.
No, just play it when you put the button to get rid of me. I've been on a couple of minutes now, and the signal hasn't failed yet.
Well, it did one little teeny bit. For like 1 second, it clipped out when you were talking about hair on their head.
Well, that could have gone the wrong way.
Yes, it could.
Did you hear about this Democrat in the Virgin Islands, this Democrat delegate talking about what a danger Donald Trump is and all of that, and on a TV interview, and she actually said he needs to be shot.
Oh, my God. I did not hear that.
Yeah.
Is this where?
She's a delegate from the Virgin
Islands?
Yeah, the U.S. Virgin Islands, yeah. And she's being interviewed. I didn't hear the context of the whole interview. Oh, Donald Trump is this, he's that, he's a danger to democracy, he's a blah, 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 he's a racist, blah, 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 he needs to be shot. And then immediately she said, stopped, he needs to be stopped. But that exposes what's really on their minds.
Virgin Island, is that St. Croix, St. Thomas, and is that the Virgin Islands?
I guess.
I've been there. That's one of the great spots in the world. People shouldn't understand if that's the way they feel in the Virgin Islands. How about maybe letting people know that maybe not a good place to go as a tourist. If you're maybe danger getting shot if you wear, God forbid, wear a conservative outfit on the beach, let alone a Trump hat or something.
Let me tell you the best island to visit in the Virgin Islands. The best island in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
it's not far from Martinique and all that kind of stuff. In fact, you probably land in Martinique. It's Anguilla. Ever heard of Anguilla?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's not lush. It doesn't have amazing mile-long beachfronts with great resorts and all of that. But the people there are... We spent a week with some friends in a villa there. Somebody won it at a lottery. I don't know. And the people there are so...
we lost him. There you go. The over and under was 411. Well, it's 412. Well, we just missed it. Yeah, he's gone. Why am I laughing? Just because we knew it.
Yeah, why are you
there
laughing?
You are. Here he's back.
You think that's funny?
I do think it's funny. I'm sorry. It's the kind of guy I am.
Okay. Hey, get your engineer to send me an antenna that, it's...
I have no influence over anybody in this building, I promise you. They all kind of turn to the side when they see me coming in the doors. I got this meeting over there,
And where did you get this thing about dildos?
Oh, it was not me. It was not Flounder. I heard that there were 700 dildos in P. Diddy's closet or something like that.
And 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Yeah.
God.
That's a party.
You remember?
That's a...
I know I had to tell you the Beverly Harvard story, didn't I?
The former police chief?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, stop me if you've heard this one.
No, please, no. It's a great story. You tell the story. I don't remember. I remember there's a story. I can't remember what it was. Please.
Okay, well, anyway, I'm on the air over there at Apollo Radio.
Yeah.
Is that what we call it now?
We can say
Apollo?
whatever you want, yeah.
Yeah, okay, anyway. And they're making a big deal over confiscating sex toys in Atlanta.
Right.
Oh, they're just going to clean up the city. And they actually had a picture of Beverly Harvard police chief carrying a box of dildos out of some building. What are you laughing at?
That's a funny picture. I mean, there's a police chief.
Well, it is
she's
funny.
got her box of dildos. I guess everything's going to be fine now.
Well, I'm very community minded, okay? And as you know, and so
Yes.
I went on the air and I said we need to help Beverly Harvard in her quest to rid Atlanta of dildos. And so Apollo Radio carried the Braves at that time. So I said, we've got Braves tickets for any ladies that will come turn in their dildos. We're gonna have a dildo buyback. And so the poor sap that worked the mailroom over there, they had kind of a window into a parking lot where people came to collect their prizes. He looks up and there's a mob of women outside of his window waving dildos at him. You know, I should have been fired on the spot. Nobody warned anybody I was going to. I didn't know I was going to do that.
Well, that's all right.
Have you ever actually watched an episode of Golden Bachelorette?
I honestly, Neil, the debut was on last night. I did turn in for a second and then I stopped because it was just too depressing.
How about The Bachelor? Ever watched that?
I did watch. I watched The Golden Bachelor, and I didn't really. Well, I'll take that back. When The Bachelor first came on, I used to watch it, and then my daughters would watch it, and then I would call them like the next day because they used to have watching parties, and I would try to guess which one of the girls was going to cry first, which one was going to be the sluttiest, and which one would be in like the top 5 or something. So we'd actually, when it first came on, it was kind of a thing. I would just wait to have fun with my daughters on watching the silly show. I stopped watching it after that. I did see The Golden Bachelor.
Consider the damage that these insipid shows have done to the institution of marriage in our country.
I know it's unbelievable. Well, hell, the Golden Bachelor guy got married and they never stayed married. It broke up in 3 months. I mean, finding love at a certain age. Well, that's fine, but still, I mean, this is just being on TV. God,
just call it the golden hookup or something. But really, it is so demeaning. Now, I've been married to the Queen now for over 51 years. And that is important to me.
Yes, it is.
And the institution of marriage is important to me. And I hate to see it demeaned and degraded on all these TV shows that turn marriage and lifetime commitments into damn game shows. And it's just really irritating.
And you know what surprised me about this, Neil, was when all of a sudden, and again, I watched the first part of The Bachelor for like one season, and then we kind of lost interest altogether. But all of a sudden, the last time I did check in on one, now they have the pleasure evening overnight rooms or something where they're just having sex. They're doing sex rooms. They never used to be that blunt. And now they say, well, it's now your turn to make love with the contestant number 4. So all the other guys are saying, gee, I can't wait to have sex with her like these other guys are doing. What the hell kind of deal is it? I mean, it's creepy. It's just,
They just line them up for test drives?
Well, and remember and I won't give her name again, but remember the district attorney, assistant district attorney, a hottie girl in Atlanta who was on one of the Bachelor shows, and it turned out that she chose. She was the girl. She was the Bachelorette, and the guy she chose was watching the show after the incident where she was having sex with another guy that she did not choose. And when he confronted her, well, see, why did we make love then if you weren't going to choose me? And the guy she did pick heard the guy say, well, why did you make love to me if you weren't going to pick me, knowing that she was having sex with another guy? I mean, the whole thing was just creepy.
This is getting too complicated.
God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, and another thing, I was I have to watch a network newscast every night, okay?
Oh, poor boy.
As a matter of fact, I watch it on Hulu, which means that the next morning I can watch it with no commercials, so I don't have to watch all these
that's
drug
right.
commercials.
Yeah, there you go.
know, I don't have to watch that fatty, I have type 2 diabetes and I handle it. You know, so anyway.
The guy, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
After that debate the other night, and by the way, where does Stu Pixon get all these little fairy boys to But so anyway,
yes.
I switched after that debate fiasco.
Oh, Lord.
I switched from ABC to NBC and Lester Holt, who at one time was a registered Republican.
No, he's the worst these days. He's really...
No, he's not.
Oh, yes, he is.
No, David Muir's. So I'm enjoying Lester Holt.
Well, and David Muir, by the way, his ratings are plunging after the debate. His ratings have gone like 15% down all of a sudden.
I would
right
like
after
to
the
believe
debate.
that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I read it. It was in the news.
I would really like to believe that. But
I do.
I still, and nobody has ever specifically brought this up, but Lindsay Davis, or whatever her name is, that first question she asked Kamala Harris, are people better off or worse off now than they were 4 years ago?
Yes or no question.
And with it, then explain your answer. But Kamala Harris totally evaded it, and nobody ever called her on it. And at that point, we're only 15 seconds into the debate, and oh boy, I know this is going to be a cluster, Obama.
Yeah. I wish Donald Trump's response had been when they said, Mr. Trump, your response, please. He should have said, how come you're not asking her to give you the freaking answer? She never answered yes or no. Get her to answer the question yes or no. And if she says we're better off now than we were 4 years ago, she's a freaking liar. What's your next question? That should have been Donald Trump's response.
Well, if he could have channeled Neil Bortz, he would have done something like that.
Well, there you are. Well, you should have talked to him, Neil. Damn it. I know you're mad at the man, but you should have called him.
Yeah. But I've already told you that Donna and I did get a chance to talk to him in his apartment at Trump Tower.
Yeah.
Not that I've been in a lot of brothels.
No. God. Okay. All right.
But that place was the worst I have ever seen in my life. It was just terrible.
What do you mean? Like a lot of hot babes running around?
It looked like a whorehouse.
Oh, my. Wow. Well,
I mean, the decor, you would have actually thought you were in a French brothel.
Oh, actually, I just saw some video of one of those places, and there's a lot of gold and red satin stuff. And
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all right. That's a French whorehouse or something.
Exactly. But at least I was there.
Yeah, that's right. More than I can say for sure.
So at least, are we going to survive this?
No, we're not.
I've seen a lot of presidential elections, and I've never seen one that I thought the case could be made that our republic may not survive this presidential election.
Well, in fact, Neil, in front of me, I was listening this morning coming in, and the news report came out to say that of the latest poll, and the latest figures are coming in probably by tomorrow, which will be even worse. The latest poll shows it's 50-50 in all the so-called swing states, and for the nation at large, Trump has 44%, and Vice President Side Piece has 55%. She's leading by 11.
We can't survive this.
She's leading by. How is that possible? With a guy, with her offending every veteran in the world, there's no troops fighting anywhere in the world from America, and the choice of that yellow-bellied coward, the phony war hero guy as her vice president. I can't believe this.
You want to know how to offend a veteran? Call John McCain.
Yeah.
Call John McCain a loser.
Well, that was stupid. He should have said, "You're a lousy pilot, but by God, thanks for serving your country. And what you went through at the POW camp is something I can't imagine happening. And God bless you that you're alive to talk about it." Boom! Should have shut it up right there and said, "You're a terrible pilot, and I don't like your politics, but God bless you for serving your country."
Yeah, there you go.
Simple.
There you go. See, you should be running. Now, we have a recent hire at the Biden-Harris Department of Energy's Nuclear Security Administration.
Oh, really? Nuclear security. Is that guy with a dress, or he got a new one now?
Well, he might as well, because this new hire, this new hire, and I'm sorry, with all the notes I made, I didn't get his name. But he believes that queer theory is crucial to American security.
What the hell is queer theory? I don't even know what that means.
Well, I don't know. But now remember, this guy in the Department of Energy's Nuclear Security Administration, so his last name is Nair, N-A-I-R. Anyway.
Like the leg shaving cream.
Not the debilitating, whatever. But he wrote an article making the case for, quote, queering nuclear weapons. How do you queer?
I don't even know what that means.
Well, it might have something to do with where you aim them. But
I mean, seriously, what the hell is he? Why do we have nutballs in charge of security for nukes? My God.
He wants policymakers to, quote, look to LGBTQ plus inclusion for better nuclear policy outcomes and build environments in which queer people can bring their specific skills and lived experiences to bear without fear. What skills?
I don't want a list of those skills. Come on, man. My God. I don't want to know their skills.
Going down.
Girls like skills.
Yeah, I don't want to know their skills.
Well, listen, we better not mess with America. They now have brought queer theory into their nuclear weapons.
Man, we're freaking doomed. Honest to God. If she wins, and again, if she wins, every Democrat wins. If she wins, Democrats, senators win, congressmen, senators, Democrats win. I mean, it'll be brutal. Governors, state legislatures, because they'll vote Democrat around the whole ticket. Oh,
okay,
God.
Look, I'm too old to move somewhere, so I'm just going to get in the sports bus and hide.
Man, I don't blame you.
So, and I've been in it for 5 months now. Let me warn you.
Yes.
Let me warn you. Naples, Florida, has been named very often the #1 place to retire in America.
Just recently,
it is not a cheap place to retire.
No, that's true. Yeah.
But it's in Collier County, Florida, and what I think this is still the case, but when I moved here, and for the last 15 years, not one single elected Democrat in the entire county.
Really?
Not one. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. Well, that's good. Well, that's good. That's a good sign. By the way, in fact, I was just reading today. In fact, I've got the article here somewhere. Apparently, a whole bunch of professors in universities in Florida are fleeing because they hate all the conservative stuff going on. So they're thinking, my God, what a great break for the kids going to school in Florida. The liberal professors are fleeing like rats. Good.
Well, they are.
Rats are coming here, Jeez.
But I got a warning for you. I used to brag when I was still on the air at Apollo Radio. I used to brag down here about you could go get a driver's license here renewed in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You can get a tag for a new car. That might take you 15, maybe 20. You never know. Yeah. I mean, they just stood away. I mean, when you have to go get a car tag in Fulton County, you pack a lunch.
Yeah, you bail.
But anyway, there is an Achilles heel, and that is, as you know, our condo is undergoing remodeling.
Yeah.
The Achilles heel down here are building permits.
Oh God!
How difficult should a building permit be for a condominium in which none of the external walls, the roof, the floor, the window, none of it is going to change? It's all internal.
Yeah, you would think.
Yep, so we moved out of the condo, got the movers to come, empty the place out, get it ready for the builder, and from that point on, it was almost 3 months before the county could issue a building permit. What are we going to do? We're going to change the cabinets. We're going to put a new island in the kitchen. Yeah. 3 months almost
ridiculous.
to get, and it is the wart on Collier County, Florida, that they can't do any better than that.
Well,
I don't know how it is in Atlanta and Fulton County. It may be just as bad. It may be worse. After all, you do need to be able to have people that can read.
Well, you're talking a whole different thing now, Neil. I'd be ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
Standards are way too high, mister.
If they had issued that building permit in due time, the Bortz bus would be back in the bus barn, and we'd be in our brand new, amazing beachfront condo again.
Are you going to be in before wintertime, you think, or do you have an estimate?
We have to be. We have to be. The HOA, in all of its wisdom, has declared all construction must cease on the first day of November.
Aha. Well, that definitely would make a difference.
Yes, it would. And, so we may not have walls, but we got them. I don't know. Our builder is great, and he's got a plan, and he's moving along. But I still get irritated when I think that, I didn't have to move out the damn first day of May.
Yeah.
I could have stayed for a while until that building permit got issued. I thought it was going to be issued the next week. Yeah. No, not with these people. Yeah. No. Mm. So anyway, that's my story, and they're coming to take me away.
Well, not to worry.
So
I hear our traveling music. Oh my God! Well, believe me, it's all politics, and it's just I'm so sick and tired of these liberals. We're going to talk more later about liberals in the press. After again, just the liars, and it's making me sick. The whole deal.
Well, let's come up with some new messages on those Hezbollah pagers.
Yeah,
from the liver
waiting.
to the knee.
That's my favorite so far. Neil Bortz, always a pleasure. Hi to the missus, hugs and kisses from all of us. Thanks again as always, and see you next week. Be careful.
I hope she
there.
wasn't listening to me today.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Hello. You got a great gal there. Thank you, Neil. Talk to you later. 4:30 coming up. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, Flounder's Funnies, Pete's Tweets. We got it all.
This fall, the gridiron calls, which means you'll be road tripping to games across the South, and you'll need a reliable ride to get you there. And Subaru of Gwinnett has the vehicle for you. But a new car, truck, or SUV from Subaru of Gwinnett is about way more than just getting to the games. It's about getting the family home. It's about getting to work safely, but it's also about getting the most out of every adventure. If you're driven by an adventurous heart, the 2025 Subaru Outback shares your spirit with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Or maybe it's the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. It holds the road with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, and it holds everything you need for the tailgate. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and let your adventurous mind run wild. Then stop in for a test drive on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Kawasaki. As the sports seasons heat up, make sure your equipment runs like a pro with genuine Kawasaki parts from Howard Brothers. Whether you're tuning your outdoor gear or changing your machine's filters, Kawasaki parts deliver the performance and reliability you need to stay ahead of the game. This season, keep your machines running strong with Kawasaki parts, because in the game of maintenance, quality parts make all of the difference. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Kawasaki and Howard Brothers.
My fellow Americans, our yards are in troubled times. Unwanted weeds are crossing fence lines across our great nation, and we need to put a stop to it. No more college football Saturdays spent mowing the lawn. No, sir. Let's turf it with ultra-premium artificial grass from ATL Turf Co. They're Atlanta and North Georgia's first choice for premium turf solutions, from incredible lawns to custom putting greens. Let's make your yard great again with a free consultation at atlturfco.com.
Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Always wanted to smoke a turkey but weren't sure how? We can teach you at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our October class will cover all the traditional barbecue meats: brisket, pulled pork, ribs, chicken, and pork loin. And as a bonus, you'll learn smoked turkey with gravy so you can wow your guests for Thanksgiving dinner. Learning to cook the perfect barbecue is not a topic learned from a book. It takes hands-on instruction, the kind you get at Southern Thunder Barbecue Barbecue School. Our classes are designed and taught by Grand Championship pros with real-life experience, competing, instructing, and catering barbecue events. A day-long class at Southern Thunder Barbecue School makes a fantastic gift. So do your loved ones a favor and tell them what you really want is the Barbecue with the Pros class, available now at SouthernThunderBBQ.com. That's SouthernThunderBBQ.com.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
This time of year, there are two things you can't stop: the leaves falling off the trees and the prices falling at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. If you are planning a fall wedding, birthday, or anniversary, there's never been a better time to visit Solomon Brothers Jewelers than right now. Percentage Week is back for 1 week only, September 16th to the 22nd. This is your chance to save up to 60% on engagement rings, wedding bands, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and more. Everything in all three of our showrooms will be discounted up to 60% off. Now is the best time to save on the engagement ring and wedding bands of your dreams. Choose from all the top designers in the industry, or say I love you with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings or a tennis bracelet. Remember, no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. So visit us for Percentage Week, September 16th to the 22nd, going on in all three of our showrooms in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg. Or shop online at SolomonBrothers.com. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, the preferred jeweler of the Atlanta Braves.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort for the fall and winter. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your furnace running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. Turn to the experts for your system's maintenance at 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com. Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta Carrier expert since 1947 and one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Sergeant Jeremy Blake, Public Information Officer for the Cobb Sheriff's Office. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
I got now. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder. 436. And so Pearl Jam here is that we got going for us. This day in 1993, Pearl Jam released their second studio album, VS, Versus. Is that the title of it?
Versus.
Hi, baby. How you doing? Sorry, one of the sales girls walked by. I had to say hi. The album set the record to Pearl Jam for the most copies of an album sold in its first week. A record it held for 5 years, despite the fact the group declined to produce any videos for any of the singles. It doesn't say how many, but it sold more copies of the first week than any other album. Pearl Jam. Holy cow. I had no idea. I had no idea this was music, but seriously, our birthday list includes. Well, I'm sorry, it's just not.
What's wrong with you?
I'm bad. I'm just not good.
That's the drugs talking.
In fact, I heard both you bastards yesterday were talking about the best music in the world. And you were listing all these things, the grunge bands and stuff, and I'm thinking, when are they going to mention the Beach Boys? When are they going to mention the Motown people and stuff? You guys are you're not on the same thing there. Anyway, our birthday list, shut up. Our birthday list includes, I said shut up, Jeremy Irons. So I'm on medication. Jeremy Irons is 76. Alfred in Justice League, Batman versus Superman. He was the voice of Scar in Lion King. Head bad guy in Die Hard movie. The corrupt Pope on Showtime's The Borgias. He was also the man in the Iron Mask and Red Sparrow. Jeremy Irons has been in a lot of things. 76 years old today.
Great actor.
Very, very good actor. And was he the one in the movie about the Sonny Bulow? Yep. Also, that was with Alan Dershowitz's movie. Yeah, that was. I remember when Alan Dershowitz was saying goodbye to him, and the guy got in the car, and he was closing the door. Alan Dershowitz said, Mr. Van Bulow, you're a very strange man. And Van Bulow looked at him and said, you have no idea. Oh, man, was that creepy. Oh, mercy. Let's see. I got a double history thing here for you. On this day in history, 1982, a computer scientist at Carnegie Mellon University named Scott Fahlman became the first person to use the smiley emoticon. The colon and then the dash and then the closed parentheses with a sad face emoticon on the internet. It says here he now regrets doing it, but he did it originally at Carnegie Mellon because he said it would keep people on a message board at the school from distinguishing between serious messages and jokes that were posted. So it made sense that he would say this, by doing this, they're laughing and they're making a smile. But now it says here he really wishes he hadn't done it. I don't know why. Obviously, everybody in the world knows about it. All right, fourth. What's that?
For someone who loves history so much, you do that every time we come back.
Yeah.
You almost got through the whole 30 minutes with Bortz.
Yeah.
Clean, but you made one mistake.
Well, I'm sure of it. I'm sure I made at least one. What did I do? What was it?
General Blackjack Pershing did indeed dip the
1918,
bullets.
wasn't it?
No, it was the Spanish-American War in the Philippines.
Oh, crap. You're right. You're right. It was the Philippines. I should have remembered that. I did remember that, and I said the wrong thing. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. And again, he had like 20 guys lined up, and he shot them all. He dipped his bullets in pig fat and killed them all except one guy and said, now you go tell your friends what I just did. And after that, nobody touched Blackjack Pershing for the rest of the campaign. I mean, it worked. So anyway, no, that's why Guantanamo wasn't that bad an idea. Anyway, 404-741-1230. Well, they do a lot worse things to us. I'll tell you what, I said I'll kill myself before I've been taken capture. I did. I told my family, I said, if I get captured, I will definitely not be alive. I couldn't have done what John McCain did. There's no way, knowing me, there's no way that I would have survived 5 or more years being tortured in the North Vietnamese prison camp.
You just put up with like half a year of torturing us with your mouth pain.
I know.
And yet, if they come out with a bamboo stick, you start singing like a canary.
I had a wife once would have told everything if they took away your credit card, but seriously, 441. Next, a former border chief is saying we got bad things coming. The retired border chief's name is Aaron Helke, and he told reporters that with all these people coming across the border, thousands and thousands, we are in trouble. And you're going to hear a soundbite here, Flounder, if you would, sir. And in this soundbite, not only is he talking about the things that are happening in places like San Diego, but he's also talking about cover-ups. Flounder, if you will, sir. The border guy there with the soundbite with the border.
There we go. Sorry about that.
That's all right. We're all good now.
3.
In San Diego, we had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year. These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border. Fentanyl is another issue. The San Diego area sees between 80 and 90% of the methamphetamine and fentanyl seizures annually for our entire country. With little enforcement at the border, these drugs were coming through en masse. During my last year in San Diego, the price for a single pill of fentanyl, for example, went from $10 to 25 cents. To make matters worse, during 2022 and 23, I had to shut down San Diego traffic checkpoints, which are critical for drug interdiction, because the resources had been diverted to the process and release mission. The large numbers also had and still have a negative impact on the San Diego community. I had to release illegal aliens by the hundreds each day into communities who could not support them. To quiet the problem, 2 flights a week were provided from San Diego to Texas. These flights simply brought aliens that would have been released in San Diego over to Texas. Each flight cost approximately $150,000. This was the administration's way to try and quiet the border-wide crisis.
That's the former chief Border Patrol agent about some of the things that are actually really happening. And they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. 443. By the way, a couple things. I don't know what to make of this story. I believe it, but it doesn't make any sense. I don't know whether you've heard about the mystery surrounding some supporters sitting behind Donald Trump at the latest rally in Arizona. At least a half a dozen people are suffering from serious eye problems, irritation in their eyes, needing medical attention. A former Clinton supporter, now for Donald Trump, Myra Rodriguez, said her eyes were burning when she left the rally, headed for the emergency room. The doctor said, well, you must have something sprayed in your eyes. Your eyes are, the symptoms like you got something sprayed in your eyes. She said, no, I was just sitting there. A couple of days later, she said she nearly went blind. I can't see anything when I open my eyes. I see bright light. It hurts. It hurts a lot to open my eyes. I have a cold cloth I put on and take off constantly. It's horrible. She said a couple days later, her vision began to come back, and it doesn't appear to be permanent, but she's heard about other people with the same thing. One girl didn't want to give her name, said, it kept getting worse and worse. My eyes watering, my nose started running. I started feeling my face getting flushed. My neck felt like it was on fire. Her brother had the same issue, focused on my eyes. My eyes were red like hell. It's unbearable. I couldn't handle it. One local realtor, a Trump supporter at the rally, had to cancel all of her scheduled businesses for the weekend because she was going blind. I mean, is this like that Cuban embassy business? I suppose somebody's doing something with, some kind of AI wavelength technology or something? Oh, anyway, 445. By the way, coming up, if you don't have enough reasons to hate the liberal media, we got another couple of them for you here coming up shortly.
Bingo.
And first, let's do Pete's tweets coming out here. I'm going to put, where's my paddle? I don't have where's my paddle? I got you got tweets? You got tweets, yeah. Right? All right, well, hold on. I got to get my paddle. And here we go. It's coming up here in a second. Hey, where's my damn paddle? Coming up, Pete's tweets and Flounder's funnies. Give her Pete and Flounder.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
So you think the old talkmaster's a pretty good guy, huh? No, not the way I've been thinking lately. I am so proud of and in such admiration of the Israelis for their recent assaults on these Muslim goons who are dedicated to their eradication. Many years ago, perhaps even before you were born, the Israelis set up a little iPhone repair shop in the Gaza Strip. They waited until some Hamas leader came by to get his iPhone fixed. They fixed it. It worked just fine. Oh, yeah, but it had a little explosive device hidden in it. So after Mr. Hamas hotshot came by to get his phone, when he left, they called him. Hello? Boom. Now they've really upped their game. Hezbollah in Lebanon threatening to wipe Israel off the map. Oh, we got to be careful. We better not use our cell phones. Let's get a bunch of pagers. They can't track the pagers. What a brilliant act by the Israelis to intercept those pagers being shipped to Hezbollah and rigging them up so that they'll explode when the signal is sent. Teeth, hair, and eyeballs all over the place. Well, not really teeth, hair, and eyeballs, more like Big Al and the boys. But these Islamic goons thought they were in the clear when they got rid of the bad pagers. Next day, walkie-talkies, radios, simultaneously exploding. Look, Hezbollah has been launching rockets into the heart of Israel with no real understanding where they will fall or who they will kill. And then they dance around and yell Allah Akbar or some nonsense like that, rejoicing in the brilliance of their rocket launch. Then Israel sent them a huge FO message this week. I know I'm a bad guy, but I'm just enjoying the hell out of this. Nasty Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Tug with election season in full swing and football on everybody's mind. Don't forget that fall's just around the corner. As those leaves start to drop, your gutters and roof might need some attention. Southern Exteriors has been protecting homes across the Southeast. Whether you need gutter cleaning, want to add gutter covers, or both, now's the time to get it done. Plus, with any cleaning job, you'll get a free roof inspection. Call Southern Exteriors today at 8779-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Get ready, Atlanta. True Prep is celebrating 13 years with our biggest anniversary sale yet. Saturday, September 21st, join us for massive savings on over 75 items, local vendors, free food, and hourly giveaway drawings, including 2 Glock 43Xs. Vendors will be on site and giveaways happen every hour from 10 a.m. till 2, while the sale continues all weekend long. For more information, visit TruePrep.com. That's TRU Prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
Neil Bortz here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
Doug Moore is a health insurance broker at yourchoicehealthplan.net. He believes your health insurance premiums should not look like a mortgage payment. You don't have to overpay for health insurance. He sells private insurance with no deductibles and no rate increases. These plans are typically 30 to 60% less than what you're paying and don't need to change doctors. He customizes all plans to meet your budget. Don't fret. Go to yourchoicehealthplan.net. He can save you big money. Call Doug Moore at 770-697-0100. That's 770-697-0100. Don't fret. Go to yourchoicehealthplan.net. If your payment is too high, you're on COBRA, or your work coverage is too expensive, call Doug, 770-697-0100. You don't have to have government marketplace insurance that's crazy expensive. Don't fret. Go to yourchoicehealthplan.net and request a quote. Call 770-697-0100 and let Doug design a plan for you, not by big government.
I hold everything. Got a news update here about the Secret Service and the Trump assassination attempts coming up. 4:51. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on your Thursday afternoon driving home. The Shaman in 1992 started a 4-week run at #1 in Britain with Ebenezer Good. I've never heard of them or the song, but that's figures because I don't know anything about music, as you know. One of the most controversial British chart toppers due to its perceived subliminal endorsement of recreational drug use. It was banned originally by the BBC. Well, what's the subliminal part there, Flounder? What do we know about this?
Not sure. I just got the song ready.
Okay.
I think it was just more.
You're high in there. You didn't even know it. It's like Flounder got high without even knowing it in there. Subliminally, they tricked him, man, into not knowing what he's doing. I'm sorry, Pete. What were you saying?
Suddenly, I want a hot dog. I don't know.
I got the munchies there. I think I'll take another pill. Our birthday list includes Trisha Yearwood, the singing sensation. Trisha Yearwood, 60. Mrs. Garth Brooks, 60 years old today. Good for them. So I guess she hadn't found anybody better yet. Outstanding. And on this day in history, 1952, Charlie Chaplin and his wife are on board the ocean liner Queen Elizabeth with their 4 children when Chaplin is told he cannot get off the boat in America to go back to his home in Hollywood. They have to investigate Charlie Chaplin first before they let him off the boat. When the ship docked in New York City, Chaplin and his family stayed on board, never did leave, and just sailed back to England, and then eventually lived in Switzerland till he died in 1977. Charlie Chaplin was 88, and they wouldn't let him back into America because he was not funny enough, or a communist, I guess, right?
He had communist sympathies.
Yeah, sympathies. Our 4 o'clock hour, by the way, 4:53, sponsored by our good friends at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer Safe. They have a showroom in Ackworth, and they can take care of everything. Everything's on sale. No more sales tax the rest of the year, by the way. And on the web, check them out, atlantasafehouse.com. Holy crap, it's sports coming up, and I promised Pete's tweets, and I lied again. I did. Can we do that here? We got a chance to do that here? And we still have a Flounder's. Oh, sorry, Flounder. I didn't see you were in the back there. Here we go, 4:53. And I noticed even you guys were talking about the Pete's Tweets intro here. And when the Flounder was supposed to come up with something with Pete's Tweets.
Right. Babylon Bee headline. Trump dodges falling piano, swinging death blade, and spiked pitfall trap on way to rally. Bob says he's binge watching BlackRock commercials to figure out who the next shooter is. Mike the engineer says, I accidentally wore a blue shirt to Walmart today. And long story short, I'm covering for Debbie this weekend. Eric Prince, founder of the private security firm Blackwater, calls on Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to immediately assume control of the investigation of the second wannabe Trump assassin, saying the feds have dropped the ball thoroughly on the first attempt's investigation.
No.
Both DeSantis and the sheriff down there say they're doing just that.
They have. They started it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
and they're going to do a better job. I guarantee you that, too. By the way, and there's more coming up on that here in a second after Pete's Tweets, too. Yes, sir.
I could go take a nap right now on my sofa and do a better job than what the feds have done investigating that first
appalling,
one.
Yeah.
Babylon Bee headline. Democrats accuse Trump of inciting further violence by not dying.
They want him dead.
Tampon Tim Waltz is telling liberals to approach strangers in the grocery store and have hard conversations about the need to vote for Kamala. Please, oh please, will some idiot please approach me in the grocery store and start talking to me about Kamala Harris? I need the exercise. Please.
Yeah, I haven't hit anybody in the face in God weeks.
Seriously, it's like the Animal House where he walks up to the mayor's wife with a cucumber and says, "Mine's bigger."
Yeah.
Please. Johnny tweets, Minneapolis is Somalia, Ohio is Haiti, Colorado is Venezuela, and Dearborn is Syria. Are you paying attention yet?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, Sickalaga, Alabama's having to deal with it too. It's not just around the country, it's here as well.
That's right.
And there's a meme showing the pic of an old man who built a small train in his backyard. He carries the dogs around him in those little cabooses and stuff.
Yeah,
it's so cute.
Yeah.
The caption reads, me running the Underground Railroad out of Springfield, Ohio.
The pets. Save the pets. And I guess so. I haven't seen a lot of those lately of those memes, but those were pretty freaking funny too. Those
Follow
Trump
me
memes.
to freedom.
Oh man. 4:56 already. We'll do a Flounders Funny in a second. First of all, an update just in. The Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Ridiculousness are being sued over the assassination attempts. The conservative legal watchdog group called America First Legal alleges the Secret Service and DHS illegally concealed records related to the attempted assassination in Butler. They claim submitted multiple public requests for records and have not received squat. The American people watched in horror as a lunatic tried to assassinate the former president. It goes on and on. Today, there's widespread and bipartisan acknowledgement that there were catastrophic failures that tragic day. While requested documents pertain to the Secret Service's staffing shortages, hiring and employment standards, and all communications to or from Secretary Alejandro Scumbaginus, I may have mispronounced that, and 2 senior DHS officials as well. The Secret Service would not process their expedited public request, so they're getting sued. Even Da Nang Dick, that slimebag Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal, Da Nang Dick, the phony warrior, too, who did serve his country, but he was not a Vietnam veteran, said even he says it's reaching the point of outrage. They're totally lacking anything to take care of us and do that stuff. 457. Let's do a Flounders Funny and an update on how the media is reacting to the assassination stuff, too, as well, by the way. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 457.
Here we go. This is some classic Rodney.
Outstanding.
No? Yeah, last my wife signed me up for a bridge club. I jump off next Tuesday. I mean, last week nothing went right. I bought a waterbed. There were 2 Cuban guys swimming in it looking for Florida. Last week I went to the track, too. That was a beauty. I shot off the opening gun. They killed my horse.
In front of Ronald Reagan.
My car broke down again. I got a car, I got nothing but trouble. Every Sunday I take my family out for a push. The last time my wife drove the car, she cracked it up, went into a tree. Told me it wasn't her fault. She blew the horn. My wife isn't too smart, you know. One night she went out, some guy stole the car. I said to her, "Do you see what he looked like?" She told me she got the license plate number. She's not smart at all. I told her our kid is spoiled. She told me a lot of kids smell that way, you know. I tell you, it's tough to stay married to my wife. How do you think I feel? She kissed the dog on her lips and she won't drink from my glass. I mean, as always, my wife's father, he just moved in too, has electronic pacemaker. Every time he sneezes, the garage door opens. I'll tell you, life isn't easy. My psychiatrist told me I'm going crazy. I said, "If you don't mind, I'd like a second opinion." He said, "All right, you're ugly too."
And one of my favorite times when I interviewed him at a bookstore in Buckhead, Rodney Dangerfield, and he was a terrible interview. He just didn't want to be there, and he gave me terrible answers. And I said, "Okay, thank you, sir, very much." He said, "I hope you got what you wanted, kid," like that. And I didn't get anything at all. So then I had people in the store doing impressions of their favorite thing of Rodney Dangerfield, which was pretty funny. And one of my favorite lines of his, I mean, he's got a million of them, is when he said, "Yeah, there was a fire at my house, and my wife told the kids, 'Hey, be quiet, you'll wake Daddy.'" Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, it's almost 5 o'clock. Coming up, you're going to hear about the news coverage.
Shannon Burke.
Of Shannon Burke's arrival at our radio station. We got the band is ready and the people are waiting.
You missed one day.
It's next. Florida Man Radio, baby. 5 o'clock. Look out.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
Take 2 in the House. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. One day after a 6-month spending bill with an election security string attached failed to pass, Fox News confirms the House is looking at a straightforward spending bill running through December instead of March. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries earlier today.
Our commitment remains the same, but we need traditional Republicans to break with MAGA extremists and partner with us so we can keep the government open and meet the needs of the American people.
House Speaker Mike Johnson had faced some bipartisan opposition for a spending bill that would have required proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections. The Senate Majority Leader is also working to advance a stopgap measure. A Mississippi Sheriff's Department is now under federal investigation. The Justice Department announcing a civil rights probe of the Rankin County Sheriff's Department after the torture of 2 black men by 6 white officers who pleaded guilty last year, got sentences ranging from 10 to 40 years in prison. The DOJ investigation will look for any pattern of excessive force or discrimination. Just days before imploding on the way to the Titanic wreckage, the Titan submersible had malfunctioned. That's what a Coast Guard panel heard today.
During testimony at the hearing in South Carolina, Stephen Ross, the scientific director for OceanGate, which owned the submersible, discussed a platform malfunction during a test dive that, according to Ross, disoriented passengers.
The pilot crashed into the rear bulkhead. The rest of the passengers tumbled about.
The pilot was OceanGate's co-founder, Stockton Rush, who died in the implosion days later. Ross said he was not aware of any hull inspection after the platform issue.
Fox's Gernal Scott. America is listening to Fox News.
Life takes a toll on our bodies. No way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical job, over time, your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. Relief Factor. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good. And it's 100% drug-free. If the pains that come with living a full life are affecting you, do as so many others have. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet. We can stop pain. Turn back the clock with Relief Factor.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of flag. Ready on your dog target. Hair, help, hair, help, hair, help. Road guards out. Hair, help, hair, Florida radio countryman, radio country Florida man. Club round hair. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kipper with Pete Davis and Flounder, who just held up brought me in a big sign. There he is now. Hey, Flounder just brought me in a big sign, said, just a reminder, it's Florida Man Radio. I think I was saying countryman of the Florida radio system. Something came out of it. I know it wasn't even close to Florida Man Radio, so he's got 10-inch letters. So how you doing, my friend? Oh, hell, I'm on the right side of the grass. That's all I got.
I wanted to ask you one thing that was in the news cycle yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had an opinion on the tampon situation in the Canadian military.
We never got to it. Tell the story.
And I'm gonna shorten it a little bit here.
Yeah.
They put them in there because of the law. They had to put them in there, and then after the first couple of weeks, they're like, "Hey, we have to refill these things all the time. We really had a need. They're very successful. The tampons in the men's room, yay!" And then they realized that people were throwing them in the trash, and then they said we have to refill these things 3 times a day. And then they got a court-martial people, and they went to the judges, and they were they couldn't believe that these men didn't want tampons in there, but they just left the machines empty now.
I don't know what the hell happened. Well, I know what happened to Canada. I mean, this has been building for a long time. Remember when the truckers protest, the Canadian government actually stopped the truckers from using their credit cards. They prevented the truckers from getting gasoline and diesel fuel to fill up their vehicles. I mean,
it's diabolical.
God almighty. I mean, you can't do anything in that. They're cracking down on free speech. I mean, it's just, that didn't surprise me.
Look at California.
Yeah. Whoa, my God. And by the way, the latest things he signed, there's no way they're going to get through a court decision, an appeals court decision, as soon as they're challenged about, outlawing memes, because somebody might be offended by some political message. My God.
Hold on, Cameron. It's only 120 days before an election and 60 days after the election.
So it's only the important part. Yeah.
And if you read the language, it says it prevents the creation of and dissemination. You can't create. It's banned creation. There's no way it stands constitutional muster. It'll be
it's pre-censorship. You can't. If you're banning creation, you're banning something before it's even thought of.
It's an expressive content. But it just shows you who they are. Wasn't a week or so ago that Kamala said that millions and millions and millions of people are talking on X without any government oversight or regulation. We can't have that. Oh my God.
Well, that's and then the next day, yesterday, we had the soundbite of her where she said, "Well, just because you're a legal gun owner in your house doesn't mean we don't have the right to come into your house and make sure you're taking care of that gun properly." She just said, well, it wasn't just. It was a couple of years ago.
I remember.
But she said we have have the right to come into your home at the point of a gun to see whether you are behaving appropriately with your firearms.
Yeah, is it properly stored? Where is it?
Well,
You know?
I guarantee you, if she wins, she's going to keep their word on that. They're going to ban weapons all over the place, and they're going to get mine bullets first. I've already told my kids I'm going to die in a gunfight. If they pass bill, and they will, if she wins, that means they'll also win Congress and all the governorships and every Democrat's going to win. If she wins, they're going to vote all Democrat or all down the line, and Congress will be Democrat, and they will take away our guns. They will pass laws, or they will have executive orders, and they will come to so-called mandatory buyback. And when they do, I've told my kids I'm going to die in a gunfight because I'm not putting up with it.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. The Kimmers predicts she will die in a gunfight. Story 11.
I'm telling you. They're not going to do it.
They're going to say, listen, if you got some ARs, we're doing this little buyback thing. We get a few grand for each one. Huh? And you say, no, they go, oh, sorry, but it is mandatory that you sell me your gun.
Yeah, well, then come and get it. Come bring your friends. And, I hope you don't mess up the whole neighborhood because there's...
It's like the ending of Gran Torino.
Yeah, absolutely. Sacrifice one for the team. I mean, seriously. Jesus on the lawn, it's kind of a...
what did I want to ask you about? Oh, the Iranian. Are the Democrats colluding with Iran now, or no?
I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't understand anything of what's happening now. And of course, we've got more Israeli attacks in southern Lebanon, and between the Democrats and Iran. And I wonder how many more explosions are going to happen. By the way, the second round of that stuff is pretty funny, with blowing up their pants legs with phones.
It was an ingenious attack because it terrorized them emotionally. And mentally, and it wrecked their communications indefinitely. So,
well, I mean, can you imagine just psychologically? They're going to be afraid to answer the phone, be afraid to turn on TV.
I'd be afraid to pick up my hairdryer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any social media
Put
device
some toast in your toaster. Kaboom!
Yeah,
it's over.
Hey, I like it.
But I think it's doing. I think it's working. Well, what do you make of United Auto Workers in that whole?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's, first of all, the Democrats are going nuts. The Democrats are saying, how dare you not recommend Carmela Sidepiece as the vice president, as being our next president? How dare you? They're going absolutely crazy. And the fact of the matter is that the union did that because they're cowards. They're afraid that if she wins, that they'll be, held to task for it. But there's no way. Well, first of all, the membership has got to be 80-20 for Trump. I mean, we all know that the numbers are absolutely astounding for Trump. Which means to me,
31.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you it's more than that, too. But especially because if management was really concerned with their companies and their workers, they would know that Donald Trump is going to be better for American gasoline automobile industry than she would be.
Right.
Holy smokes, how could anybody in the car business support her?
Does a non-endorsement kind of, in this case, equal a Trump endorsement without saying
absolutely.
it?
They're afraid. Absolutely. They're afraid of offending either one of them, so they're cowards. But it's got to help Trump. It's got to help Trump. And by the way, interview after interview now, you're seeing the auto workers saying, "Oh, all the guys in my shop are all Trump guys." So obviously, they just chickened out, and it's going to help Donald Trump. And now we've been talking about New York State maybe even flipping for Trump too. So I mean, it could be exciting. I don't want to get my hopes up because I still see too many polls where she's leading. Leading by like 10 points or something.
Well, we all remember 2016. We all in 2020. We all, everybody's been there. We've all seen it.
I know. It's
all the same nonsense. We're going to be talking about this later, but Sweden, here's how Sweden's solving their asylum illegal people problem.
Didn't they pass some new law now or something?
Well, they had a law that would pay you to go back to your home country, and it was only $976 per adult, $488 per child, with a cap of $4,000 per family. Now they're going to start offering in the end of 2025 $34,000 to migrants willing to return to their nation of origin. It's genius.
Well, listen, they have the money. I mean,
we're spending that much per migrant here before it's all said and done per year here. I mean, why not just write them a check for you're king. Like in Honduras, you show up in Honduras with $30,000 in your pocket. You practically run the place.
Oh, mercy. Absolutely. You'd have your own maid, live-in maid, live on the beach.
Senor Kimmer.
Live-in, love-in maid.
Yeah.
Oh, mercy.
I think it makes sense. I might be. Hey, that's one way to deal with it.
Yeah, well, they learned the lesson again. Close your freaking borders. They have standards, and make people sign the book. And when it's their turn, they come in. I mean, it's not difficult. It's just it's political reasons, and we're suffering for it. I mean,
let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
Why isn't Trump 10 points ahead at this point in any state?
Media and cell phones. Social media, and cell phones.
50 years of socialist teachers teaching your kids to hate themselves, their country, their culture, their language, their skin.
All right.
And again, but seriously, in fact, I keep thinking maybe there's hope. I just saw a couple of headlines where even some people on CNN, even Dana Bash was making fun of Carmela doing a drinking game for when she avoids the issues or something. So they know it. They're not being fair. In fact, that David Muir guy's ratings are dropping like a rock after the debate because people are realizing how biased those people on ABC were. And so they're one thing after another. Maybe giving some hope, but again, I don't know whether it's too late. I mean, seriously, if the media, again, if you change the political labels, if Donald Trump were a liberal and she were the conservative, I mean, it's just not the way it used to be. They're not being honest. They're all advocates. They're not being fair, and the public is not getting the true story of what the future is. How could they think that anything she has said makes any sense for the future of our nation?
She hasn't said anything yet. That's just it. It's all been platitudes and repetitive platitudes. Yeah. She hasn't said anything.
Yeah. She's doing her latest thing is she's doing some kind of streaming thing with Oprah. And she'll count that as a news conference.
Well, you saw the one out of Pennsylvania, I'm sure, with the one.
God! Oh Lord!
It's how does that not turn off of a voter? I don't understand it.
I think it does. Honestly, I think there are people who don't. She could do what? Well, hell, look about it. She mocked the American military when she said, "Oh, there's no American servicemen anywhere in a war zone," and you're all saying, "What about us over here in Iraq right now?" And the second thing, her vice presidential guy is a yellow-bellied freaking coward who deserted his unit when they were going to war and claimed to be a freaking war hero, which is another stolen valor bullcrap lie, as offensive as hell. And still, those two people who are totally anti-military with total disrespect. When she tried to defend, Biden's looking at his watch and stuff. Yeah. How could those two people have enough respect for any decent living American to say I respect them to be my new leaders? I can't.
Look, Tim Walz is no better either. You've heard him. He's adopted her style of not answering questions.
Because and the other thing is, every time he goes to he's not doing news conferences. I guess they'll answer a few questions here, but they're not. It's not like they're standing at a podium answering questions. And if they did, the reporters would never ask him, "How come you have not apologized for saying you carried a weapon in war? How come you have not explained it other than the campaign said he was misspoken?" Bull crap.
Yeah.
It's not misspoken. That was deliberate. And he has not addressed it, and he has not apologized. Which means we know he did it on purpose for political reasons, which is even worse than trying to tell some girl at the bar that you're a war hero so she'll sleep with you. I mean, I could defend that.
Right.
Seriously. Oh, yeah, I got that from the war. I got this thing there, Chevy Chase or something,
What do you think about the conversation about rhetoric? Trump gets almost assassinated again. The media on MSNBC, Alex Witt goes out and goes, "You think we ought to hear Trump's campaign tell him to tone down the rhetoric over there?" Like it's his fault that he's being shot at.
In fact, I have a story here of the coverage of Donald Trump according to Media Research Center. They reviewed 70 minutes of campaign coverage, ABC, CBS, NBC, on the newscast after Donald Trump's assassination attempt was thwarted. 70% of all the campaign news on the networks covered it. Over 3 nights, they tallied evaluative comments, they called them, of the GOP candidate. 21 comments were evaluating the candidate. 20 of them were negative.
Yeah.
For example, NBC News' Lester Holt, today's apparent assassination assassination attempt comes amid increasing fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail of Mr. Trump and his running mate making baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio. We played that soundbite. That's NBC saying it's Trump's fault. Trump and his allies have slammed the Democrats. Hold on. CBS anchor Norah O'Donnell. Trump is blaming Democrats for inflaming political rhetoric, but the former president's own words seem to be increasing the threat of political violence in Springfield, Ohio, with false accusations at CBS. NBC reporter Garrett Hake similarly said Trump has used incendiary language against Democrats, and authorities have not yet revealed a motive in either incident. Of 48 minutes of coverage, less than 1 minute on the possibility the Democrats could share the blame. You can't hate the media enough when you hear things like that.
Ducey is my hero the other day, nabbing KJP after she just called Donald Trump a threat and asked her, hey, how many were assassination attempts? Were you guys lighting it up a little bit? And she said asking her that question was dangerous.
Well, now we know asking questions of somebody at the White House is dangerous in America today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the same thing. Carmela wants to have federal guidelines on what should be said on social media and political speech and stuff like that, too. They really believe this. Yeah. Believe them when they say it.
Millions and millions of people having a conversation on X without any government oversight.
Well,
that
you can't allow that to happen. People talking their own... Oh, I don't think so, sir.
When I'm sure you saw the breaking news earlier of the Alaska man arrested for only threatening 6 Supreme Court justices.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder what political party he belongs to.
Weird.
Yeah.
Say you're a Democrat without saying you're a Democrat.
Suspected child molester Chuck Schumer's the one who said, we're coming after you, Kavanaugh. We're coming to get you, Kavanaugh. And the guy showed up from California to try to get Kavanaugh. And now this guy in Alaska. How come it's always really far away, thank God? But still, these are freaking Democrats. They tried to kill Trump twice. And by the way, that's not even a news story anymore. And like we just said, they're still blaming Trump for it, so it's no big deal. My God, if they had tried to kill Carmela's side piece twice or Biden twice,
the three of us would be in jail.
Yeah. We would be in jail, and they would have burned down the cities of America. Would have been on fire.
You're absolutely right. I'm sad to say it. Boys, I always enjoy our time on Thursday.
All right, so it's Florida man, country with manness of manly, masculine radio man.
Sunshine Radio.
Yes, with a side of country radio.
Shannon Burke, you rock, my friend. God bless you, sir. Have a great one out there. Shannon Burke and the gang at 518. And now our 5 o'clock hour sponsored by Lee Brandt Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com. It's 5:19. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Braves found the Reds in Cincy 15-3 this afternoon to take 2 out of 3 in the series. If not for them blowing game 1, they could have swept it. Yeah. Lots of long balls. Matt Olson had 2. Here's one of them.
2-1. And there's a drive, deep right center. That might go. Dunn looks up, and that is gone. Another home run for Matt Olson, his second of the day, and another 3-run shot for Atlanta.
That's friend of the show, Joe Simpson on 680 The Fan.
Just saw him last week. Nice guy up in the booth up there.
Michael Harris had 2 dingers. Ramon Laureano and Jorge Soler also went deep. Both Olson and Harris had 4 RBIs. Laureano and Soler 3 ribbies apiece.
Great sign.
Chris Sale improved to 18-3, going 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs with 6 strikeouts. Now it's off to Miami for 3 with the Marlins. Sale hasn't lost a start since June 27th, and that was a 1-0 loss.
Wow.
Yeah. Braves now a game and a half behind both the Diamondbacks and the Mets for the final NL wildcard spot. They play a little later or tonight. And last night's win, Marcell Ozuna got his 100th RBI for the 2nd straight season. Got another one today. After last night, Soler's new nickname is the Pinball Wizard. Because when a ball is hit out his way in right field, it's anyone's guess which direction he's going to deflect it. But his bat, very nice to have in the lineup as exhibited today. Former Brave Charlie Culberson is hanging up the spikes. Culberson, a pick back in the 2007 draft, finished his career with almost 8 full seasons of Major League service, spanning 11 Major League seasons. Originally drafted by the Giants, he played with the Dodgers, Braves, and Rangers. Basically a utility bench player, a tremendous clubhouse guy. Culberson did a brief run about being a full-time pitcher in minor leagues for the Braves this year. Ended up throwing 4 innings. Charlie finishes his career with a batting average average of 248, and he will always have that great head of lettuce and can get work impersonating Dansby Swanson. Looks just like him.
Good point, yeah.
The Brewers have clinched another NL Central title despite everyone picking the Cubs.
Yeah.
And during the post-game champagne celebration in the locker room, manager Pat Murphy praised legendary team broadcaster Bob Uecker, and in typical Ueck fashion, he yelled, "I peed my pants." Which he may have. He's 90-something.
If you haven't ever seen Bob Uecker when he went on the Johnny Carson show, I mean, those are just classic. Just classic.
I'm telling you, you get the MLB At Bat app and listen to the Brewers games when he's doing the games, and you'll be laughing the entire game.
He's a
the
classic.
stories he
He's
tells.
just a classic guy. It's all
NFL
natural,
Nuggets.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. NFL Nuggets, in their last 10 games, the Panthers have only led a contest for 10 seconds.
Holy cow.
In the last 10 games.
That's that busted quarterback guy, right?
Yeah. Falcons host the Chiefs Sunday night at the Benz. Running back Tyler Algier limited to practice this week. He's got a hip injury. And receiver Drake London apologizing for his gun shooting celebration after his game-winning touchdown catch against the Eagles. Head coach Raheem Morris says Drake was pantomiming shooting a T-shirt gun, which, actually makes sense.
Yeah.
It was Philly's fourth blown lead in the final 2 minutes since the start of last season, which is tied for most in the league. Kirk Cousins threw his 15th go-ahead pass touchdown in the fourth quarter or overtime, which is the most of any quarterback over the last 5 years.
Well, yeah, it was great.
Clutch.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Saints quarterback Derek Carr fined for grabbing his crotch a la Michael Jackson in their stomping of the Cowboys in Dallas.
Never appropriate, really.
The life of an NFL bigwig is not always what it's cracked up to be. Lions head coach Dan Campbell is the toast of Detroit until they lose. Campbell is having to sell his home on 2 acres in suburban Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, because of pranks and harassment that happens after every Lions loss. The home sold for, how much do you think a home's going for in Bloomfield Hills?
2 acres in a suburb outside of Detroit? God, probably $4 million.
4.5.
Hey, look at that.
What are you channeling, Flounder, today?
I'm sorry. I thought it'd be like $200,000.
Go to hell.
I thought you were going to say Detroit so bad it was $150,000. I thought for sure I was going way over.
And Titans quarterback Will Levis has had to change his phone number after an 0-2 start because he's catching some flack.
Jeez.
NFL game tonight, Patriots at the Jets. College football tonight, you got the Big Tilt, South Alabama visiting Appalachian State. The Gators travel to Starkville this weekend in a game only family members will watch. Florida boosters have already cobbled together the $27 million needed to buy out embattled interim head coach Billy Napier's contract. The Gators reportedly will go after a proven power conference head coach. So begin the annual lazy sports writers tradition of placing Lane Kiffin on top of that list, which has already begun. One of these years, they're going to be right, and Gainesville is closer to Kiffin's Sunshine State home in Boca Raton. One of these days, they're going to be right. They just keep saying the same thing over and over.
That's
lazy
funny.
bastards. It's official. Arch Manning will start for the Longhorns this Saturday against powerhouse Louisiana Monroe.
Oh, cool.
And what may be the greatest attempt at bravado since Davy Crockett said to his fellow Alamo defenders, "We got this." ULM defensive coordinator Ernest Hill had this to say about facing the latest Manning quarterback. "We have some kids on our team who played against him in New Orleans in high school, and a couple guys done beat him already. So they don't hold too much fear against him. So they're not going to hold any fear against him coming up here on Saturday."
Okay, I'll put that on the old bulletin board.
Yeah, the Longhorns need more bulletin board material against ULM.
Yeah, this could be interesting.
Yeah. It might mean something if the Warhawks weren't already 4.5-point underdogs. Yeah, with a backup quarterback there. ESPN's College Game Day in Norman, Oklahoma, Saturday for the Volunteer Sooners tilt. Their celebrity picker is Mr. Gwen Stefani, otherwise known as.
The country singer guy who was on the country singing with the voting
guy with a face. He's got a beard.
His name won't come out. I'm sorry. I know I've seen
plays a guitar.
I know. I don't. John, where it's like
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton. Yeah, he got divorced from the girl who lost all the weight and then started showing it off with other guys, and he put her stuff on the sidewalk. I remember that.
I just wanted a name. I didn't want to bio.
I couldn't. Blake Shelton. I'm sorry. Names don't come out.
You know the bio, but you don't remember.
They don't come out. I know everything. I could sing his songs, and names not coming out of my mouth.
What? You know what? You know whose name I forgot this morning?
Who?
Vince Lombardi.
Wow. Oh, really? Wow.
I couldn't. It took me 5 minutes of just sitting here ruminating before I came up with Lombardi.
It's a thing. There's something going on.
Yeah. Well, just when you think Sports Illustrated can't embarrass themselves by jumping the shark any further, they go full Fonzie with another woke piece of garbage. SI named the 50 most influential figures in sports. A few media pundits made the list, including Stephen A. Smith, Kirk, and his dog Ben Herbstreit. But here's where it goes sideways. Not only does the list include ESPN's Elle Duncan, who likes to talk about her C-sections during segments about Tua's concussions and between Elle trashing Caitlin Clark, it puts Duncan over such luminaries as Pat McAfee, Charles Barkley, Dave Portnoy, Michael Strahan, and Adam Schefter. That she's more important than they are.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know that.
No.
Yeah.
A local girl's done good, but I'm sorry. Please, remember when Sports Illustrated was the gold standard for sports coverage?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We used to save. We saved them in our garage. We had Sports Illustrated forever.
Yeah.
We just kept them.
I still have some. I still have some.
Yeah.
The P. Diddy Puff Daddy saga continues to ensnare more celebrities in its tangled web. First, Justin Bieber. Now, an old video of LeBron James bragging about attending parties thrown by the rapper has surfaced. Hey, everybody know, ain't no party like a Diddy party, LeBron is heard crowing on the video.
Be darned.
But in his defense, back in the day, if a big-time guy like Sean Combs invited you to one of his parties, wouldn't you go?
Well, I only went to 2 of them, but, I don't want to,
Was the dildo optional, or did you?
No, I brought my
provide
own.
one?
No, I brought my own for the girls.
BYOD?
Yeah.
BYOD. Happy birthday to Trae Young. Okay, let's play this one last time.
All right.
How old do you think Trae Young is?
34.
Lower.
29.
Lower.
26.
26. Absolutely. You got it on the third one. 26. I thought he was a little older than that. That's
me
amazing.
too.
He's just 26
that is
years
amazing.
old. Today in history, September 19th, 1973. I take you there. The Braves' Davey Johnson hit his 43rd homer, 42nd as a second baseman. He tied Rogers Hornsby's record, the most home runs for a second baseman.
That's right.
And I was there.
I was there.
at that game.
I remember that. I was here in Atlanta, and there was like 3,000 people in the stands back then during the 73.
Well, you had your own beer vendor.
That's right.
He just stand there and wait until you need
another drink.
Well, sure, he's right there. Garcon. Garcon.
There's nowhere to go.
1939, Elmer Gideon, September call-up, got 3 Major League hits, only 3 of his 5-game career in the Senators' win over the Indians. The Washington starting center fielder became the first of 2 Major Leaguers killed in World War II when the Germans shot down his plane over France in 1944.
Wow.
1973, National League refuses to allow the San Diego Padres to move to Washington, D.C. It was so close, I actually have a baseball card of Padres outfielder Johnny Grubb, and it reads National League instead of San Diego on it.
Really? Wow.
Which I stupidly circled with a magic marker for some stupid
there goes
reason.
the value.
The only card I ever defaced in my entire life was that one. And finally, 1988, American diver Greg Louganis smashes his head on the diving board during a springboard event at the Seoul Olympics, causing him to bleed in the pool.
Yeah.
He recovers to qualify for the final, which he wins the following day. Greg thanked the medics. The other divers thanked Carl Wilhelm Scheele. Why did they do that?
For telling them that he had AIDS. He never told the doctor he had AIDS. When he was getting treated by the doctor, Louganis never said that he had HIV.
Because Carl Wilhelm Scheele invented chlorine.
Oh, well, that helpfully prevented again, but he never told the doctor who was fixing his bloody head.
Well, in California, they've said it's okay to give somebody AIDS and not tell them.
It's probably illegal. Jeez. Anyway, thank you. Pete Davis, 5:30. Come here, Pete. Now, is this coming up here after the break? Is this
Something I found on Twitter. It's lengthy, but I think it's worth playing.
We'll play it coming up. You want to hear this?
That's what she said.
That's lengthy. That's lanky and lengthy.
Well, length and girth is important. Yeah. 5:30. Give her feet flowers.
How wide it is.
How are you doing that?
So-called journalists have a little trick they like to use from time to time to indoctrinate rather than to inform.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
This fall, the gridiron calls, which means you'll be road tripping to games across the South, and you'll need a reliable ride to get you there. And Subaru of Gwinnett has the vehicle for you. But a new car, truck, or SUV from Subaru of Gwinnett is about way more than just getting to the games. It's about getting the family home. It's about getting to work safely, but it's also about getting the most out of every adventure. If you're driven by an adventurous heart, the 2025 Subaru Outback shares your spirit with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Or maybe it's the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. It holds the road with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, and it holds everything you need for the tailgate. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and let your adventurous mind run wild. Then stop in for a test drive on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Kawasaki. As the sports seasons heat up, make sure your equipment runs like a pro with genuine Kawasaki parts from Howard Brothers. Whether you're tuning your outdoor gear or changing your machine's filters, Kawasaki parts deliver the performance and reliability you need to stay ahead of the game. This season, keep your machines running strong with Kawasaki parts, because in the game of maintenance, quality parts make all of the difference. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Kawasaki and Howard Brothers.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind the businesses and organizations that are vital to the growth of the state. Just ask Mike Plant, President and CEO of the Braves Development Company.
I think back about 2003 when I started with the Braves, and I just knew we had to create a destination that people wanted to come to year-round. We had a blank canvas, and I think we had a pretty good feel for what would be a year-round destination, mixed-use development, lifestyle center, all those. Fortunately, we have this incredible relationship long-term with Georgia Power. Right away, they saw our vision, they got our vision, they understood it, and they knew they needed to be a big part of that. They are leaders as far as being part of this community. We don't have power, we don't have life, So, they've been a great partner of ours, and they're there with us every step of the way.
To learn more about how Georgia Power is helping businesses big and small, visit GeorgiaPower.com and tune in all year to discover how they're powering the future of Georgia.
Foundation repair isn't pretty, but at Atlanta Ramjack, we make it easy. If you notice any cracks in your foundation, they need to be addressed as soon as possible to reduce additional costs that come with the repair. Why call us? Foundation repair is all we do. We have highly trained estimators that will thoroughly evaluate your home and only recommend what is needed. If you are experiencing foundation problems, please contact us at ramjack.com/Atlanta or call us at 770-502-8881.
The smallest Mercedes-Benz SUV goes big on innovation with a virtual voice assistant, dual dashboard displays, and wireless CarPlay as standard equipment. Meet the 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLA 250 SUV. The advanced GLA SUV leaps further ahead with turbo hybrid power, fresh styling, and even more innovative technology. Experience the 2025 GLA 250 SUV and lease one today for just $489 per month for 36 months with $42.63 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models, and visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through September 30th, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Oh man, look at my backyard. Looks like a tornado met a hurricane in a desert. I'm going to tell her to turf off. Or maybe you'd rather turf on with ATL Turf Co., the Southeast leading turf installer. Whether you'd like a new football field, putting green, or have us create the perfect maintenance-free backyard of your dreams, find ATLTurfCo.com. Make your yard great again. Visit ATLTurfCo.com and see what we've created for customers like you in the Southeast. ATLTurfCo.com. And no more yard cackling.
Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Dun,
dun, dun, dun. I got hooks, Daisy. Are you turning it off when I turn it on?
I was in the wrong pot.
Well, he's got the wrong batch in there. Listen to
What?
537. How you
Pod.
doing?
You know the things we go up and down, not
They're
pods.
sliders. They're slider bars, the fader bars they call them. They're things on a board to run the volume up and down. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? This is Graham Parsons, 1973. The 26-year-old songwriter, formerly the Byrds and the Flying Burrito Brothers, at 26 died under mysterious circumstances in Joshua Tree, California. Graham Parsons' death was attributed to heart failure, later officially announced as a drug overdose. His coffin, Graham Parsons' coffin, was stolen by two of his associates, manager Phil Kaufman and Michael Martin, a former roadie for the Byrds. They took it to Cap Rock in the California desert, where it was set on fire in accordance with Graham Parsons' wishes, and the two later got arrested by the cops. Because you don't just to go do that. You don't go steal a coffin and set it on fire in the desert. I mean, you can do it once, I guess. Anyway, and our birthday include the hideous Jimmy Fallon. Used to enjoy his stuff there for a while. 50 years old, Tonight Show guy. And Sherry O'Terry. I used to love her on Saturday Night Live. Her takeoffs of Barbara Walter Wawa were hysterical. And I remember the time when she did a bit about Barbara Walters when she took that Hugh Downs for a weekend he'll never forget. I mean, she was so freaking funny. She played the cheerleader with what's his name from the Anchorman movies. And she should have had the career that Kristen Wiig is having. It says here, Sherry O'Terry's 62, but as Tracy Morgan once said, quote, that bitch can't even get arrested. He didn't like her much, but Sherry O'Terry's 62 years old, and happy birthday to her. And on this day in history, it was 1985. A U.S. Senate committee heard testimony on labeling and rating music with explicit lyrics started by Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife. The list had made this group, Parents Resource People, had a list of the most objectionable songs. Their Filthy 15 list included Prince's Darling Nikki, Sheena Easton's Sugar Walls. Oh, my God. I can only imagine what she meant by that.
You know.
Yeah. Twisted Sisters, We're Not Going to Take It. Well, now, wait a minute.
That doesn't belong with those other two.
What's that got to do? We're not going to take it, what, up with the management? Or, I mean, what did that mean, I wonder? I didn't know that was a thing. And Cyndi Lauper's She Bop. What was wrong with that? I don't remember that being a thing.
It's about female climaxing.
She bopped herself. They heard from Frank Zappa, John Denver, and Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, all opposed to a thing there. Anyway.
Hey, by the way, Kamala has just spoken in front of an Italian audience. You want to hear what she said?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pizza, ravioli, spaghetti, mamma mia. She was wearing a Mario hat and mustache while she was doing it.
They got some great memes. Now, Flounder just sent us, have you got more, Flounder? I got like 9 messages.
No, I forgot. Pete reminded us that we should play the CNN audio of the guy on the beach.
Okay, here we were talking about how the media is biased and everything else. CNN reporter was talking to a guy she spotted on the beach at his boat, and here's how the conversation went, where she's trying to say that, well, if you have a boat, obviously you don't need any help from anybody.
What's your most important issue?
The economy, getting the interest rates down, getting it to where we can afford to live in America. Right now, it's too expensive.
Okay, now let me maybe ask like a slightly impolite question. But, you know, if you can afford a boat, you're not hurting so bad, right? Because a boat costs a lot of money and it's a lot of upkeep.
Listen, nobody gave me I earned everything that I got. I'm retired military, retired power plant, and I am successful and retired with boats, jet skis, because I did it right. And everybody has that chance. Whether they choose or not, that's up to them.
I would never try to take anything away from you in that way. But what I'm asking is, groceries are probably a smaller part of your budget than, say, you know, someone who's like a little worse off.
God.
I think it's interesting that people who are a little bit more comfortable are still so concerned about the economy. Did you see what I'm saying?
Because I want my money to go further. I want inflation to go down. I want interest rates to go back down. I want all that. But that covers everybody in the economy. Not just me, not just the poor, not just the rich. It covers everybody.
Now, something I've heard from some people, tell me if this applies to you, is like they're worried their kids aren't able to afford a house or a car.
Well, I trained my kids and taught my kids properly. They have great educations, and they're both successful in their careers. Actually, they're doing better than me.
Yeah, how about don't take gender studies and owe $200,000 when you get out of college and can't get a job working at McDonald's? I mean, my God, what does it matter with these people? They're trying to justify the bad economy as, oh, well, he shouldn't hurt anybody who's got a boat. Oh, man.
They have children and grandchildren. They want to be able to afford a boat themselves one day.
Yeah. Good grief. And by the way, just, you know, I once had a boat. I can't afford a boat anymore. You know, things change. So, I mean, don't be telling me. I used to be in a very good position, which is long gone. So, I mean, the fact that you once had something doesn't mean squat. When the economy sucks, we're all in trouble. Anyway, do we have time to play that? God, is that too long to play?
No, we can go long. It's no big
Here's
deal.
a guy. I found this guy. I don't know if it's TikTok or some social media. A black guy talking about the power.
So it was on Twitter, but he's on TikTok. He's his handle is MEH79324 and it's K Smith, so I'm assuming maybe his name's Kevin Smith. But he kind of goes to the Bible a little bit and talks about how God has made it very easy to figure out who to choose versus right and wrong with Trump in this election.
Here we go.
So here we go.
To the Democratic Party, I'm voting for Trump, but I have to say, you guys got me on this one. You're correct. I can definitely see that Trump is causing division. You guys have said over and over, you said, how can you as a Christian support somebody like Trump when all he's here to do is cause division and separation? And you're right. So let me read something to you. This is Luke 12:51-56, and this is Jesus speaking in the Bible. Do you think that I have come to bring peace to this earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. From now on, 5 in one household will be divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. They will be divided, father against son and son against father, mother against daughter and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. He also said to the crowds, When you see a cloud rising in the west, you immediately say it's going to rain, and so it happens. And when you see the south wind blowing, you say there will be a scorching heat, and it happens. But you are hypocrites. You know how to interpret the appearance of earth and sky, but why do you not know how to interpret the present time? This may have been written thousands of years ago, but make no mistake that this is for now. You see a man running for president with his own money, his own funds. You see a man that for some reason all of the government, all of the media, all of the corporations have turned against him. You, with your own mouths, have said that he's here causing division. You, with your own eyes, have seen full-on Democrats switch to his side. You, with your own eyes, have seen 2 assassination attempts. You, with your own eyes, can see now that there's a complete separation with how people are voting. We're not voting red or blue anymore. It is obvious that we are now voting good and evil. We are now voting for God's laws or against God's laws. And it says it right here. When Jesus came the first time to die for our sins, he did not come to bring peace. He came to cause a division, to make there be a choice. You had a choice to choose the living God standing right in front of you or to choose the enemy. He made it clear. He made it obvious. He stated who he was. He stated what he stood for. And here we are again. And if you look at the policies, then you see who stands for God with their policies. It has become very clear which side is good and which side is evil. You can talk about Trump all you want to, but it's not about Trump. It's about the choice to stand for God's laws or against God's laws. It's about the choice to stand for evil or against evil. It's obvious to see who the evil side is. And this is not to say that the Republican side is perfect. However, this is to show that the heart of the Republican side is for the laws of God. We are against the evil policies of the Democratic side. We are against the evil policies of Satan. We are against the evil policies of the satanic ways of the Democratic side, which have become very obvious. You, with your own mouths, have stated that Trump is here causing division. And best believe that is exactly what God is using him for. He is using Trump to make the division very easy to see for everybody. If you don't see it, you better start praying now. We're rising up now.
Jesus came.
You sat here long enough
to cause division, so you had to make a choice.
And the time was coming. You are seeing prophecy be fulfilled right in your face. You are seeing a division happening right now. And pretty soon a harvest will begin. A separation of the wheat and the tares. A collection of the people who are for God. Believe me or don't believe me. It's not my job to force you to believe anything. However, I'm going to make sure that you have no excuse to say that you didn't know.
Wow. What's that? K Smith? Is that what you said?
Yeah, his name is K Smith. His handle is Meh79324.
MEH79. Wow. Wow. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 548. Wrap it up when we come back. Don't go anywhere now. We're done. Not yet.
The latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events, and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Fall is just around the corner, and with it comes unpredictable storms. Is your home's roof and siding ready to handle the weather? Southern Exteriors is your go-to for reliable roofing and siding solutions. Whether you need a new roof, repairs, or durable siding that stands up to the elements, Southern Exteriors is here to help. Plus, they're offering free estimates, 0% interest, and no payments for up to 6 months. So you can get the peace of mind you need before the storm hits. Call Southern Exteriors today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at nelsoneldercarelaw.com.
Doug Moore is a health insurance broker at yourchoicehealthplan.net. He believes your health insurance premiums should not look like a mortgage payment. You don't have to overpay for health insurance. He sells private insurance with no deductibles and no rate increases. These plans are typically 30 to 60% less than what you're paying and don't need to change doctors. He customizes all plans to meet your budget. Don't fret. Go to yourchoicehealthplan.net. He can save you big money. Call Doug Moore at 770-697-0100. That's 770-697-0100. Don't fret. Go to yourchoicehealthplan.net. If your payment is too high, you're on COBRA, or your work coverage is too expensive, call Doug, 770-697-0100. You don't have to have government marketplace insurance that's crazy expensive. Don't fret. Go to yourchoicehealthplan.net and request a quote. Call 770-697-0100 and let Doug design a plan for you, not by big government.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever, overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
554. By the way, they were lying. About everything they said in that ad was complete lie and crap. We have to play it, or you can't change the words of an ad, and we're taking the ad because it's money. And they have a right to advertise. They have a right to lie and cheat and steal because that's what they do. So, but I have also the right to say they're a bunch of crap and everything they said was a dirty, stinking, rotten lie. Anyway, here's CCR. Creedence Clearwater Revival. And it was on this day in 69. It says here their only British number one hit was Bad Moon Rising. It was a number 2 in America. Also, they started a 4-week run at number 1 with Green River, 1969. Let's see. Oh, we got a phone call. Here's Millennial Fuddy Duddy. You're on the radio. Welcome, Millennial Fuddy Duddy. What's up?
Hey, Timmer. Glad to hear you back on the radio. Hope you're feeling better.
Hey, yes, sir. Very well. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
So I had a joke I wanted to share with you.
All right.
Do you know who was trying to get in touch with Hezbollah a couple days ago?
Who was trying to get in touch with Hezbollah a couple days ago?
Okay, brace yourself because it's a doozy. It was the Grim Beeper.
The Grand Beeper? Grim Beeper. The Grim Beeper, ladies and gentlemen. So, ho, hey, hi-oh. Thank you, Millennial Fuddy Duddy. And again, earlier, in case you missed it, one of the great memes going around now is a picture of Netanyahu being interviewed by the press. The press said, did Israel cause those beepers and phones to blow up? And he said, I was raised by a middle-class family.
It's Operation Grim Beeper, Operation Hot Pocket, or Operation Below the Belt are the top 3 things. By the way, we have a poem. A poem just sent by Goat Redneck Poet.
Oh, well, please read it for us now.
Imagine this if you can. You're having a beautiful day. You just banged your goat. Now you're in your tent to stay. Everything is cool. Then your pager makes a sound. Then a horrifying boom. Your junk's all over the ground. It's the best one he's ever done.
That's magnificent. Coming up in a minute, one more Flounders Funny. And by the way, our Lucky's Hoagies folks are joining us as sponsorships here. We'll come back again shortly. Just talked to one of their hot sub-babes here a while ago. Just in, we don't know if this is official or not, Hollywood rapper P. Diddy reportedly had damaging footage, unquote, of Barack Hussein Puditat and Michelle Obama. The scope of the footage is under tight wraps because the FBI doesn't want it to leak. And let's see, I don't know if there's much more about it. Some kind of footage. He had damaging photos and videos. The guy, one of the cops who investigated said he's 100 times worse than Epstein. And by the way, he's dead. Justin Bieber's all freaked out. He's hiding. He doesn't want to be in public because there's all these links now when he was 14 and 15 years old to P. Diddy going to all his parties. And now Justin Bieber's absolutely freaking out about the link to him. And I hope the hell there's not anything bad linked to him other than just showing up at parties. But I'll bet you there's something real evil. I hope not. Please, God. Anyway, by the way, quick birthday, Randolph Mantooth. Remember that name? 79 years old.
Yeah, Emergency.
Paramedic John Gage in Emergency. And by the way, Vince Vaughn's Anchorman character was called Wes Mantooth. I assume that named after that guy. Bill Medley, the Righteous Brothers, is 84, by the way. And how about a Flounders Funny? One more shot here, Flounder, before we hit the road for adios time here, if you don't mind.
Things are better now. People over 40 back me up on this. Back me up on how sloppy and disorganized the world used to be. Remember when sunblock began? Young people, there was no sunblock. There was suntan oil. And then the next week they were like, hey, that was lube for cancer. Block your whole thing. White people were getting scorched, is my point. We were getting scorched. As a white person, you go outside, you knew it was time to go back in when you were like, do you smell meat? It was you. And you know who doesn't care? My black friends. I try to tell my black friends, I'm like, dude, I've gotten 2nd-degree bubbly burns. White people get skin cancer 30 times more than black people. And all my black friends are like, yeah, Neil, I'm having a hard time finding my passion for this. You know what I'm starting to realize? I'm starting to realize that if you think about it, it's going to sound crazy, but if you think about it, the sun is basically the cops for white people. Think about it. Following us around everywhere we go. with us because of the color of our skin, killing our cousins for no reason. And then when I tell my black friends that the sun killed my cousin, they're like, well, what was he wearing? I'm like,
Who's that, Flounder?
That is Mr. Neil Brennan.
Outstanding. All right, you guys. Pete Davis and Flounder tomorrow. Let It Rip Friday. As you know, it's on the Kimmer. I gotta go. You're killing me. Sing me home, Christine, baby. Hoorah, Herb. Look out, Herb and Herb.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.